Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast for another match day watch along for the WSL. This is obviously Arsenal win versus Reading, as you can see by the title. We've got Liam, who's just joined us backstage, and Andrew is on his way as well. But this is literally the postponed game from just after Christmas, before one of the two. But basically, it's been rearranged to tonight. So there's a chance for us to go 4 points clear if we win this. So I'm just going to bring Liam in. And he's fun. I think so. Yeah, this is obviously the team that's starting tonight as well. By the way, there's Hinsberg in goal, Melitz, Williamson, Rafael Sizer, Katie, Leah Walty, Kim Little, Vivian Miedemar, Caitlin Ford, Blackstenius and Caitlin McCabe, and Beth Mead, along with Rhea Bucci, Tobin Heath, Manham, Jordan Nobbs, and a few others on the bench. How you doing, Liam? You all right?
Yeah, sorry, mate. I'm cooking as I'm talking. You all right? Yeah, well, trying to.
they say we can't multitask. There you go.
There you go, mate. There you go. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad after the couple of days we've had, as you know about. But anyway, apart from that, yeah, I'm good. Looking forward to tonight. But yeah, what do you think of this lineup? Just saying now. Very strong. He's gone for it. I mean,
definitely
back in that midfield role, that sort of cam role.
Got Beth Mead on the bench. Heaps at the bench. Strong bench as well, though, isn't it? I think as well.
Strong bench.
It is strong bench, I think.
It's the strongest bench we've had for a while in the WSL.
Yeah. Right, this should be a 3-pointer. Let's be totally honest today.
It should be. We're at home as well. So yeah, we beat them early in the season. Second game of the season, we beat them 4-0. So and it is on home turf, and we've got a stronger team than what we had then. If we're being honest here, so it should be a banker, a comfortable 3+ goals if we're on our game tonight.
Yeah, I fancy us. Yeah, I definitely fancy us. All right, we got a good win against Liverpool, didn't we? So hopefully that will kind of set the tone for today.
I mean, did you see some of the goals from the FA Cup this weekend? Like Katie McCabe and Caitlin Ford.
Yeah, good goal, wasn't it?
That volley, Jesus Christ!
I know.
I think Andrew's going to be on the bit. He was saying if there was anyone else from a male perspective scored that goal, it would still be spoken about now. It was that good. Oh dear! So I'm just trying to sort this out. Because on BBC Three, it's not even on Sky or anything. It's on BBC Three.
I know.
It's just gone live.
BBC racking out the football tonight, ain't they? They got Luton Chelsea on BBC One.
Yeah, that's another thing to talk about. It's over. That era is over.
Yeah. I've just seen that. He's finally still in the club. Good news. The only problem is that we've got Newcastle to tackle now.
Yeah, it's just another replacement, isn't it now? But he's saying got Chelsea to worry about, man. They can come back to where they used to be.
Yeah. They can have all the cars on the pitch. Do you remember in the 80s?
Yes.
It's like a car showroom, wasn't it?
Literally behind what was it now? The shed.
Car behind the goal. Who'd park a car behind a goal? Let's be honest. What a joke.
Oh, talking of it, Andrew, how you doing?
Watcha.
Good evening.
How you doing, guys? All right?
Yeah, we're not too bad. Just going for the team now, and obviously talking about the big breaking news in the last half hour or so. Mr. Abramovich's era is coming to an end, thank God.
I know. What a shock. I knew that was coming right from the moment he signed it over to...
Tried to, anyway.
Yeah, tried to sign it over. Yeah, put it straight away. So there's more to it. I've said it right from the start. There's more to it that meets the eye.
Yeah, we were saying this on Sunday in the cup final. We were saying that they got brought up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Good. I was just saying about the team. Going back to the night's game, kick off in about 10 minutes or so now.
Yeah, why is it not started yet? It's really annoying. They're always late on BBC.
Well, was it last night? Cutting out, didn't it?
Yeah. It was like going back to the old days without the score on the screen and without the time of the clock.
Oh my days! But yeah, fucking hell. Yeah. Good thing is, 14 years and still counting on that side of things. Dear. Oh my days! Can't polish a turd. That's a proof. You can have the best manager in the world. You can't polish a turd like Tottenham. But anyway, go back to this game itself. What do you make of the lineup there?
Well, you know,
can you guess?
Can you guess what I'm going to say?
Toby Heath and Beth Mead on the bench. Why?
Yeah, why is Toby Heath not? Why is one of the best players in the world not playing in the starting lineup?
Now
it's just
I don't know.
so irritating.
I know that winds you up.
It does, honestly. Every single bloody time, it's like I just don't get it. Don't get it at all. I mean,
especially when you bring on against Chelsea.
Yeah, I know. I know that Caitlin Ford scored a couple of goals against Liverpool, but that was, a cup game. You do play your sort of second string players in a cup game. I was expecting that, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't play your very, very best players when it really matters. And I just don't get why he's not playing her from the start. If she's fit enough to go on the bench, she's fit enough to start. You know what? You can always take her off after 60 minutes if you need to. But start with your best players and get a good lead. I just don't make no sense to me, mate, honestly. But I'm really pleased that Leah Williamson's starting. Raphael at the back, brilliant partnership now. That's good. Everything, I'm happy with everything else. I just don't get the. I just don't get
Kate and Kate part of the forward three after a fantastic volley.
Yeah, I mean, that deserves a start. I mean, that goal in itself, without question. But
could play crap for the rest of the game. You scored a fantastic goal. You and the team.
Yeah.
No, but exactly. With all due respect, it was, as I think you said in your podcast last night, if it had been anyone from the male perspective in the male footballing world scored that goal, exactly, it would still be spoken about to this, literally like tonight as we go into this game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it gone viral on Twitter and all the other social media platforms. People wouldn't be able to stop watching it, would they?
No.
If it had been Ronaldo or someone like that.
Yeah, imagine Ronaldo or Messi then. Yeah, exactly. Especially even if it'd been against, as you say, Ronaldo against Watford, for God's sake, it'd be like, oh, it's great things since sliced bread. You'll never see a goal greater than this now.
I know.
But because it's Arsenal and Kate McCabe, the only ones really publicising it was obviously like the WSL side of things itself and the players. And Arsenal, obviously Arsenal ourselves.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah. Liam was the same before he came in as well. This should be a comfortable win for us tonight, surely. We're at home, it's Reading. We've beaten already this season convincingly. If you think about it, I can't believe I'm saying this, but considering the signings we've made in the winter, a weaker team to what we had then. We've strengthened, I say that in a sense because we strengthened in the winter. With obviously Blackstenius coming in, Raphael Salza and a few other players that came in. So we have strengthened our team. So because the team has got stronger. And league-wise, we're coming off of the back of a 0-0 draw where we sort of won really as well against Chelsea, and it's still in our hands as well. This is a big chance for us to put a bit of a buffer between us and them lot over the outside of London, and take a bit of a breather, relax for a couple of days before the weekend.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be comfortable, personally. I think that if they win, they go 2 points away from a Champions League place.
All right.
So they're not doing badly themselves, and they're going to be going for it, hell for leather. So I don't think it's going to be an easy win by any stretch of the imagination. Saying that, I don't expect anything less than, say, 2-0, 2-1, but it's going to be hard fought. I definitely think that.
Yeah.
But if we win, obviously, if we win, we go 5 points clear. I know they'll have 2 games in hand, Chelsea.
Yeah.
But it's not insignificant for them either. So like I said, 2 points off a Champions League place if they win. So it's definitely going to be a battle. And why the hell hasn't it not started yet? It's 2 minutes till kickoff.
Well, literally, I've got it on BBC 3 HD on my one, on my TV, and I've got Kim Little and the Reading skipper in the middle of the pitch holding the Ukraine flag.
Well, let me put it on. I've got it on the BBC Sport website. It was supposed to start at 5 past. I'll switch on to BBC Three. Hang on.
Yeah. It was a bit weird though, because obviously Kim Little and the other captain, they're holding the flag, yeah, and all the other players thought they were coming, like gathering round as one, as a unit for a sort of photo. And the photographer, whoever it was, just went, no, it has to be between them two. You've got to stand either side of them. That was a bit weird.
Right. Yeah.
Have we seen what was it, Andrei Shevchenko was on Sky again, just before the news officially broke anyway, of Roman. And obviously he's obviously being Ukrainian himself. He's currently living in London, and obviously talking about what's going off over in his homeland. And he's come out and said, he's got his mother and sister over there, who he wants to. He's begging them to come over here where they're safe, so he knows they're safe, and they're refusing to. And he's basically like, in all other respects, begging for the governments around the world to come together and help him. Otherwise, if he loses his mum and sister, he don't know how he'll cope.
All right.
Put this down on the screen now. Oh,
sorry, guys, I'm eating while I'm watching.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I was just saying, I can hear Maria.
You can always hear Maria, can't you, legend?
Just had a birthday. Was it birthday yesterday, wasn't it? Or the day?
83?
Yeah.
83,
I think so, yeah. And he's taking a knee now on my screen.
They're just in a huddle on my screen now.
That's what I was talking to you about before. The flag and all that, yeah?
Yeah, they're just in a little group. They're both the teams.
All right, on my screen. So there we go. There's our
Yeah, same
scoreboard.
here.
That's all wearing obviously home colours of red and white, goalkeeper in green, and the Reading team all in all yellow. It's going to sound a bit because I don't want to get in trouble.
Wait. No.
So what's your score predictions, by the way? Because no one's come into the chat yet. So what's your score predictions for this? Obviously, I'm going to go for 2-0 or 3-0. If we get an early goal, 3-0. If we don't, 2-0.
I'm going to go for 2-1.
They've got a few good results, though, haven't they, over the time, Reading? Didn't they get a good score against Chelsea the other week?
Yeah. For Christmas, they beat them 1-0, sorry.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
Well, I'm tell you what
3-0.
we need to do tomorrow.
I think home advantage as well.
Go to Bolstall, and you need to chase them.
Yeah, I think 3-0.
Because you know,
It's not a great crowd tonight, is it? Unfortunately.
No.
yeah, because you know your situations. If you don't hear from her,
Very
you
quiet.
know what hours
Low
she works.
numbers, considering.
Right, so then at at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning,
Okay, this is what happens when it's just put on the school.
Just see you see Zinsberger having to retrieve the ball off a woman with a load of chips.
Don't hear anything, we're going to chase her.
I don't put the chip down, but I need the ball.
She nearly dropped her two crates of chips.
You can't keep leading it, can you? That's the thing.
Just noticed, I don't know about the Reading players, but the Arsenal players have got like Ukraine cups, two little
Oh, God. We should play the wrong ball there, to be fair.
like, two bits of material going on Ukraine colour wise going around their wrists.
All right. I noticed that.
No, I just noticed that now. Like, I saw Leah with it first, and now I'm seeing that that's Kim Little and all that with it as well.
Yeah.
Can't be classed as a political armband, can it then?
Better than watching Luton versus Chelsea, anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? After the news you've had in the last hour, I'd piss myself laughing if Luton pulled a miracle there.
I know,
Is that
definitely.
Luton as well? Is that Stamford?
Luton.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Anyone see the Tottenham game last night?
Yeah, we literally finished our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Podcast over on Andrew's channel. We're both literally there, like boom.
Definitely, it's hilarious.
It was the same way. It's a bit like the old days. No scoreboard, no fucking cock at one point.
Yeah. Probably like watching football in the 80s, that was.
Yeah.
They played Borough. They reckon it was their first full capacity in 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Since they got relegated back to the Championship, yeah.
They've got some good players.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that kid that scored against Tottenham last night.
Yeah.
He came according to the commentator, came from the Newcastle Academy. They let him go.
Yeah. No, Sunderland Academy.
Oh, was it
He
Sunderland?
was at
Sunderland, yeah.
For 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, he's 19 as well. Just
Great
19.
finish.
Yeah.
Great finish, that was. The only thing that would have been perfect would have been Balogun scoring. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been good, wouldn't it?
Knocking them out.
I was wooding for it to happen.
Oh, me too. I honestly thought it was written in the stars. I put it on Twitter. I said, "Oh, come on, Balogun! It's written in the stars." When he came on, played well though. He took it past a couple of players on the byline. Did you see that bit when he sort of nutmegged someone and brought it round and just failed to square it back into the 6-yard box?
You can tell he's got good. He's got a good touch to him, innit? You can tell that last night.
What? Gary's just put in the chat. Luton have scored.
I'm just checking now. One sec, just in case he's wanted it.
Yeah, are they playing yet?
They have 2 minutes in.
Oh, amazing! Get in.
Oh
yeah.
Why is it kicked off that early anyway?
Oh, it was weird last night because it's kick-off times. Man City kicked off. They kicked off at 7:15. Then you had Tottenham kicking off at 8, and in between, you had the other game kicking off. It was weird. Fucking hell! Come on, Luke.
Nah, cool. Imagine they go out tonight. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be amazing.
That would be
Both Spurs and Chelsea gone out in consecutive nights. It'd be incredible. I just love it if they get bought out by a terrible. Mind you, you see the Swiss bloke that's sort of going into trying to get a consortium together to buy it. He's 83. This guy, 83 years old.
Is this the front runner to take over at Chelsea?
Yeah, Swiss bloke.
Well, is he the guy who wants to take over Chelsea?
Go ahead. There's no point, but go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I just hope he get someone bad takes them over and they just start plummeting. Be amazing.
I put a tweet out just before we went, not long before we went live. I said, "Oh, literally, like, please, Roman, sell to someone who's a glazier like that, hasn't got a clue about the sport, how to run a club, and just let it all fall."
Yeah.
Do you know who I want to buy it? Mike Ashley.
Oh, I'll piss myself.
That'll absolutely make me piss my pants if they did that.
The thing is, he'd have an ego enough to think you could go and take him over and do something, wouldn't he?
Probably done off Derby now. You watch, pull up. Oh dear.
I don't even think Mike Ashley's got enough money to buy Chelsea, unfortunately.
Oh God!
Almost, yeah.
They've started well here, Reading.
I do not get why I'm behind again. It just does my head in, this does. Well, I'm on 5, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, you're about a minute and 15 seconds behind us.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be clever and watch it on my laptop over here rather than move everything over to the middle of the room. I'm probably going to have to do that at half time. Go and watch it on telly. Do like I normally do.
Yeah, Gary, we know. I double checked to make sure you weren't playing on our legs. That was too quick.
It's just unbelievable.
1-0 up.
Yeah.
Come on, you hatters.
There's no VAR to save Chelsea tonight either.
No, they don't go to a shootout tonight.
Just give it all to Kepa. Give all the penalties to Kepa.
Actually, it's been quite a good few days, isn't it? That's fucking brilliant with Kepa, wasn't it?
Oh, outstanding.
I just don't get right. Like Mendy's one of the best goalkeepers in the world at the moment. Why would you sub one of your best goalies?
And he's just recently won a penalty shootout with his country in the AFCON for the final.
It was pre-planned, apparently, But I just think it's piss
In the
poor
moment,
management.
In that
Piss poor
moment, though, you've got
management.
to go. Well, hang on, he said a fantastic. Except that he's kept us in the fucking final.
Yeah,
Keep him on.
he was man of the match.
Yeah, that's the bizarre thing.
He made 2
Unbelievable,
world-class
isn't it?
saves, didn't he? Proper world-class saves.
It's just quite ironic as well, isn't it, that he was getting brought on after he refused to come off.
A couple of years back, yeah.
Be amazing if would have been amazing if he'd have refused to come off in his place.
So basically, he's been 2 League Cup finals and lost 2 shootouts.
Yeah.
I thought they played pretty well though against Liverpool. To be fair,
It's all pretty much cancelling each other out. They both had spells throughout the game where they dominated, and then the other one took over, then the other one took over. VAR was a bastard. I wanted goals in that final. They just kept taking goals off us.
I listened to podcasts after it, like the BBC Football Daily and stuff like that, and they were absolutely raving about the match, saying how good it was and all that. I was bored. I was quite bored. I was. There was some offside goals on that, but apart from that, I thought they just cancelled each other out, like you said.
Yeah, it was more of a cancelling each other out, and obviously the main talking point was obviously the amount of disallowed goals from VAR for offside. But it's just, I didn't. As a neutral, take that equation. It was nil all the way. It was just 2 teams cancelling each other out, and it was just like someone didn't. Neither of them wanted. That penalty shoot as a show. No one wanted to win that final. It was just like, no, you have it. No, you have it. No, you have it. Kept us like, for fuck's sake, you have it.
They draw with each other 3 times, didn't they?
Yeah, this season, 1-0 at the was it 1-0 at Liverpool?
Yeah, it was 1-1.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
2 at the Bridge.
2 at the Bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, 0-0. No, they're 0-0, 1-1, 2-2.
They've got Coventry United.
Yeah.
So great draw.
Yeah, it's a great draw.
For the last 8 as well. Fantastic
Yeah,
for Coventry. And we're at home as well.
Yeah.
When is that?
Oh, Vivian didn't get a bit ball under her feet. I'll check now for you actually when that is. We'll go and have a tab one sec. Matches, women. It is to be confirmed. Fixture to be played on the 20th of March. So, in a fortnight, just over a fortnight's time.
You are just looking to try and curate some space and tape. Have that across.
Nikita's not on the bench, is she? No, Nikita tonight. Yay. That's it. Hang on. Not on the pitch. Is she on the bench?
I didn't see her on the bench, did you?
No, she's not. I just done a double check now. Not even on the bench. That's the first this season. So unless she's got an injury, I don't know.
Must have. Do you reckon she'll go at the end of the season?
Hasn't started off. He hasn't gone well, has it? It's more likely, isn't it? Because he hasn't gone well this season. Not 1 league goal so far.
That's awful.
I know, considering the amount of opportunity she's had, it's been dreadful. Definitely a bad move for her so far.
Yeah.
Bad move for Arsenal. It's like I've said 100 times, it's like the Willian signing to me.
It was just, I think one of the games we covered near the start of the season was obviously even though it was this season, it was last season's FA Cup quarter final, I think it was, against Tottenham.
Yeah.
And the chance after you had like at least 6-7 chances to score. One literally, all you do is stud it into the goal, and she lobbed it out of the stadium. It's like,
I know. Well, she missed an open goal. I can't remember what game that was as well, but the ball fizzed across the box and broke to her. And remember, she somehow put it wide.
Yeah,
it was from about a yard, no more than a yard.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think that was even the following game or game after that. I think it was very soon after that Tottenham game.
And shows they can beat the top teams. Had a bit of a poor start, really, wasn't it? And then they got themselves into how we expected Reading to be. With the likes of touchdown with the
Yes, we are, Gary. Even though she's not playing, we have to, because I forgot she were. I couldn't remember she was on the bench, so I just double checked. Yeah, it's got to be the first time this season she's not in the matchday squad.
She must be injured. She must have
it's
a niggle or something.
Quite convincingly by Brighton, but now Arsenal looking to do the damage. Niedermayer with the ball and hit the side netting. And there'll be another corner.
We're going into this game now, getting more control over it.
Yeah.
Niedermayer got history of scoring against Reading. 11 goals.
Steph Katie with the come on, Leah. Let's have a look. Come on, Leah.
To McCabe on the edge of the area. He's got to swing it in, not caught through the way. And in the air, short goal.
Unlucky.
Clearing out the danger for Reading.
I think Riddy's got us confused with Google there. I think the last comment. There's a thing called Google, Riddy. You know, joking. Just what he can't be asked to Google, so he wants us to do it for him.
Not just Google, but any search engine that's available.
Cooper.
Is he gone?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was back in.
I don't know what it is. Streamlabs does not like my microphone. Keeps disconnecting, and I have to because I was with you guys. I need to hear what you're saying. I need to then come out, like reload the tab again, and come back in. Andrew, you're not doing anything to help out Regis. I say the book is to have Chelsea because Chelsea's got 2 games in hand. I think they'll have them as favourites. The bookies, personally, going by what the media say anyway.
Yeah, but they've literally got to win every game. I mean, a win and a draw is not enough for them to overtake us, is it? So,
no, as long as we win tonight's game, yeah.
I'd much rather have the points on the board than the game.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Apparently doesn't like Google. Doesn't use it.
But ask Jeeves then.
Jeeves doesn't like it. Sign of age there.
Is that still a thing? Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
Might be rebranded by now, but probably. The goalkeeper is out, hurt ankle or leg. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
30 tactics from Chelsea, never. As I said, I thoroughly enjoy seeing Chelsea's downfall now. If Roman makes just out of pure, I hate English now, fucks over Chelsea. And gives it to some random guy that has not a clue.
He hasn't been in the country for years either, though, is he?
He got banned, didn't he? Or he himself. I know his family obviously could stay in London, but he himself couldn't come back into London because he wouldn't declare. What was it, a couple of years ago, the Shrewsbury attack, or whatever it was, Salisbury attack, sorry.
Yeah.
And basically, because there was a Rush, again, surprise, there, the Russians involved in that. But Putin, it was obviously he got questioned, because he lives in the UK, got questioned with his links to Putin and all that. Can you declare where your money is? Can you tell us where your money is legit or not? Wouldn't do it. Would not give them an inch to government. So they went, okay then, here's your visa, out you go.
Yeah.
So now with all this going off, he's just got because the government are going slowly with this, in terms of going after the oligarchs that live in the UK and obviously seizing their assets. He's thinking, fuck it, they can't do this to me. and just trying to quick sell everything he's got. He's got all his properties in London, plus obviously the main asset in Chelsea.
He's trying to do it before all his assets get frozen.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's obvious, isn't it? It's totally obvious. And you know, people were saying, "Oh no, he's going to stay owner" and all that. When after that announcement the other day, I said, "No chance he's going to stay owner after
Especially when the charity itself went, we're not doing it because you won't give us answers of how legit this is, basically.
Yeah, well, they hadn't. Do you know Emma Hayes is part
of that charity? Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of the trustees.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a group of people like her, and you know, they don't want it all passing on to them.
They wanted to know, they wanted to make sure everything was legit. That's getting passed over. Basically, he wouldn't confirm it. So they're like, no, fuck off, go away.
Crazy.
As I say, if he does what I hope he does, and just sells to some man and doesn't have a clue what they're doing of, like we've seen with the Glazers and all that, and obviously what we're seeing with Stan possibly.
Oh, yeah, he's going to sell to the first person that comes up. He wants it rid of it now, like immediately.
Yeah. If he does that, and that person hasn't got a clue compared to him, and is very tight with their money. Fantastic.
Yeah, I know. Amazing.
Because didn't West Ham go through a stage before? Obviously, Gold and Sullivan came on. They went through a stage of different people owning the club every 6 months. Because they come in, take over, find out they've been dodging, have to sell on. There's an Icelandic guy at one point. I can't believe his name.
Yeah, that's right.
If they can do that at Chelsea, fantastic. I'll take that all day long. What's doing me with some of these Chelsea fans? I've seen them on Twitter before we went live. He's so fantastic, and the point where he mentions any money he makes from this sales selling the club will go directly to charities to help the Ukrainians. Oh, this really made me cry. Like, are you fucking for real? The guy's the main reason. Well, not the main reason, but it's part of the reason why we're in the situation over in the Ukraine.
What stupid ball!
He's like that with the Kremlin and fucking Vladimir himself. They're best fucking buds. It's a well-known thing that years ago they got an option basically between the two of them via the Kremlin. One takes the politics, comes in and goes on to be the president of the country, and one takes the oil money. He took the oil money. Vladimir went down the political side of things, and they've worked together ever since. It's a well-known bloody thing. It's no bloody secret. But oh no, he's such a fantastic guy. But oh, piss off.
I know. I'm just going to mute myself and stop the cam just for a minute. I'm going to switch to the TV.
You know, mate.
Only 1 sec.
Guys saying, saw a rumour he owes Swiss billionaire. Could be a quick sell. It's got to be a quick sell because he needs it before.
It needs to be a quick sell, won't it?
Yeah. He needs it before the government sees his asset. Because if the government come in and sees it before he sells it, he can't sell it.
Just one player in there. Shout from here, where are you? I think that's where you need somebody to start sleeping that one.
Going in because just tweeted out, obviously.
Do you think it massively affects them?
It depends on who actually buys the club. If they get an owner like we've seen with Man United or the Glazer family, they ain't got a clue and don't give a shit about the sport, then I think it would affect them. If they get another Roman, then they'll be same old.
But they keep the structure apart from him, then I think they're pretty much all right, aren't they?
It depends on the ownership, though. It depends what the ownership might have a different structure system in his mindset. He might come along and take everything that Roman's built up in the last nearly 2 decades, in the last 19 years nearly.
Here we go.
He could come along and go once. Oh my God! Go!
Yes!
Vivian Miedema. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Got there in the end.
One a many.
And Andrew's going to be pissed off now. The minute he goes away.
Yeah. He might have been better staying there.
Oh, dear. Not sure how quick it will be. No, he needs literally... The fact he's made it official, he's getting word that the government are about to seize what he's got, all his assets. So he wants to he wants that off his hands before the government get their hands on it, because otherwise he loses money. That's the main reason why he's waiving the debt that the club owe him. He's waiving because he has to get rid of the club beforehand. It's too much paperwork. It'll take too much time to sort out. And plus, Chelsea ain't got that money to fucking give back to him. So it'll just drag on.
Is old Guendouzi firing shots again?
I have no idea. All I know is all I've heard today, he's played X amount of games. So he can now officially sign for Marseille if he wants to.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Matt Guendouzi leaves Arsenal permanently to join Marseille on a 3-year deal.
Get in, Viv.
He's met the clauses. Yeah, see you later, mate. Not you. Not you, Andrew.
Yeah, get out. When you leave, we score.
Oh, no, I've been watching. Don't worry. Yeah, brilliant goal.
I was just saying, the second you left, literally within 30 seconds, bang, 1-0.
Come on.
Do we know what we got for him then? Fee-wise?
Oh,
unlucky.
Oh, it's got to be 2.
Yes. Get in.
Katie McCabe
again.
Not a worldie, but it still counts.
That's a fantastic. Yeah, that's brilliant. Putting this, giving us a two goal cushion already.
I think it's going to be comfortable now, boys.
Yeah. Well, I don't speak too soon, but yeah, it's looking that way. Thankfully.
To be fair, it was a pretty even Stevens game until about a few minutes ago.
Yeah, until we got a breakthrough, and then suddenly, just on side as well, Caitlin Ford.
Yeah. Great save initially.
Great save from the goalkeeper, yeah.
Really good save initially.
Do we know what we got fee-wise for him?
10 million, I think.
They're around 10 million pounds. I mean, is it 10 million? Yeah, 10 million pounds or euro? One of the two. 10 million pounds. So yeah, we made a couple £2 million profit on what we got him for. But people sort of right saying as well. I've seen on a day that before it all kicked off with obviously that Brighton game and all that, his value was around 40 plus mil, right? Sterling. You think now we're letting him go for literally like 10 mil?
Honestly, I can't ever believe it. I mean, maybe before the pandemic and everything, at its height, I still can't see we would have got 40 million for him. Personally,
nah.
But I've genuinely been watching quite a few games of Marseille this season. I've watched, I don't know, don't know how many, but there's a lot. And he still runs off and presses on his own, like under no instruction from his manager. You can tell he's not fitting to any kind of system. He's just pressing on his own. He easily gets bypassed straight away every single time, and he's got no football intelligence whatsoever. That player really hasn't.
Poor version, obviously, but I thought Gerrard was like that in the younger years. That he'd run around everywhere apart from his own position. But obviously, he was world class at what he did. But Guendouzi, the only great thing I remember Guendouzi doing was the assist for Aubameyang's goal against Tottenham.
Yeah, that was a great pass. But the best thing he ever did for me was that rugby tackle on Zaha. That was amazing.
Oh, yeah, do you remember that 91st minute?
Absolutely outstanding.
You can't win.
How did he not get sent off for that?
No, I loved it. I loved that so much.
That's the first season of VAR, so yeah, I have no idea how he got away with that one.
I mean, there's lots of things to like about Guendouzi, but if you're a serious team wanting to go after titles, he's not the player that you need. But there are a lot of good points to him. You know, he does get the crowd on side, and he's very much a Robbie Savage type, isn't he? If he's on your team, you love him. If he's on the opposition team, you hate him.
I think the other problem was when he come to us, there was a lot of them kind of players already in the club, weren't there? Yeah. And that was the other problem as well, because he straight away he had been kind of influenced in that kind of environment. And no surprise that Ozil kind of used him as such later on, didn't he? As such, like he would always message him and all this kind of crap, and it was just like, mate, pretty embarrassing to be fair. in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point what Riddy's put there as well in the chat about, his complete lack of respect. Even when we won the FA Cup, he just posted a picture of his holiday. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't do things like that if you're... He was obviously still our player, very much our player at the time as well.
He was obviously wanting us to lose that cup final as well by doing something like that.
Yeah. That was really poor of him. Piss poor, to be honest.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting what happened, like, with Saliba and all that as well, because there's two ways looking in there. Like, I think that there's obviously a space now for him to come back with, obviously, Chambers going. But it's 100%. Interesting. Does he get in his ear as such as well? You know what I mean?
Well, apparently the club already reached out to his agents and all that to talk about extending his contract at the club. I mean, Saliba, yeah.
Say that again.
Apparently, the Arsenal have contacted Saliba's agents and representatives to organise discussing a new contract in the summer.
Quality.
I can't wait to see him. If he comes back in and he settles in well, I mean, I don't think there's a better quartet of central defenders that any club's got. If we've got Gabriel, White, Saliba, and Holding, I think that's the best. What other clubs have got for as good quality? A lot of clubs have got one or two better than ours. Yeah. But when you've got a set of four, I think that's a really good quality central defensive quartet. That is.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's really good, and I think with us moving forward as well, in terms of obviously him coming to the club and all that next year, like whether we're in the Champions League or the UEFA Cup, like they're going to play a lot more football next year, aren't they? All these players, like you like to think that they're going to be utilised more, because that's the problem this year, isn't it? Where we haven't been able to play all the players because we've only been in a selected amount of games over the season. But I think we'll see a lot of him next year, him and Holding.
And the good thing is he can play right back as well. So it would mean that if anything happens to Tomiyasu or whatever other right back we've got at the time, if we lose Cedric, Ben White won't have to go over to the right hand side. Because he can deputise there as well. But yeah, there's going to be plenty of minutes for all of them next season if we're in 4 competitions again. Yeah, definitely. And what young player in their right mind wouldn't want to be, coming into an Arsenal squad at the moment? The excitement of all this young team and the trajectory of the club being so high at the moment. It's a really exciting moment to join, isn't it?
Oh yeah, if I was a young player, like between the ages of probably 19 to 22, I think it's a great project to get, or even 23, 24. It's a great project, isn't it? Yeah. Because you're going to be growing with a team, man. If we're performing like just say for example we do finish like 4th in the Premier League this year, which for me still we finished there is an incredible achievement with the players we've got at the club. Like what will we do when we have got actual strikers who can score goals playing up front? You know what I mean? Like,
incredible, yeah.
Yeah, because we've literally played the whole season with not our strikers not scoring goals.
Yeah, but literally, basically, most of our goals, if not all of them, come from our midfield and defence.
Yeah.
We're in the contention for top 4. That's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, it'd be an incredible achievement if we finish top 4. I don't care what people say about, well, Man United have imploded and Tottenham and that. Well, yeah, they have, but still, yeah, right?
You took advantage of it.
Yeah, we are playing with a very restricted squad still, and I think the Saliba thing, and I've said it from day dot, I think it's a masterstroke what they've done in terms of loaning him out. Like, he's playing in European football, he's 19. What 19-year-olds do you see playing in the Premier League at centre-back? You don't see it, do you? It just doesn't happen.
No.
But this guy's playing week in, week out for a top club in France, and he's playing UEFA Cup football. The experience that he's gaining every week, I think it's a masterstroke with him, and I agree totally what they've done from day one. Apart from maybe just keeping him, I think at the start of it was a bit shoddy, weren't it? When he didn't get something. Yeah. I think since then, it was right.
Those first 6 months were a fuck up, really, weren't they?
It was shoddy.
But that was it. We've done exactly the right thing with him since. I totally agree with you. It was a perfect thing for his career, 100%. And he has made mistakes there. he has made mistakes that have led to goals, and it's better letting him do that development for someone else rather than yourself.
Yeah.
But he's learning from them all the time. He's learned from those mistakes, and it's only going to make him a better player. So it's been perfect.
Well,
Playing
also,
in front of like 50, 60,000 every week as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, also, if you consider where the fame, how that crowd was at the Emirates on a weekly basis, even in the away fans as well, but mainly Emirates, obviously. Whenever something goes wrong back then, the fans are on you, like, boom. For 18, 19-year-olds, just lost his parents as well in the pandemic. You don't know how mentally you're going to cope with it. It's a good thing to get him away from that, and now he comes back.
Yeah, definitely.
As Ian's been saying, and we've said, it seems a lot different this year at the Emirates. There's not this, for fuck's sake, you passed it to the wrong person. What the fuck are you doing? And this, that, and the other.
Oh, get in. Yes.
Come on.
God, this could be a good scoreline today.
Emma has your company screaming into a pillow as we speak.
Goals could be crucial in the season.
Yeah.
Superb.
Only half hour in. Come on.
That's my woman.
Well, that's our score.
Great header. Great header. Really quite brave header as well.
Yeah. That's the thing with Leah, because of her height, because the height she has along with her athleticism.
Yeah.
She has that extra oomph when she jumps up, so it's harder for the defender to defend against.
She scores a lot of goals for a central defender, doesn't she, as well? Really handy.
Yeah, especially this season as well. Like, a lot of goals. And she's obviously England captain at the moment. I think obviously the England manager has cut the crap now and just gives Leah the armband for good until obviously he retires or whatever, or someone else comes along.
Yeah.
Because obviously Steph Houghton's out again injured now. He had surgery yesterday, so she's not going to be back for the Euros.
Really, I hadn't actually heard that. Injured again.
I didn't know, because obviously she played against us every week when we played City, and then what did I say now? And then ever since then she hasn't played. And I thought, what's going on here? What? Yeah, I think one of the it was either her or the club, Man City club itself, basically put out a fit photo of her just after she had her surgery, basically. She's like, I'll be back bigger, stronger, and all that. Like the usual stuff.
Thumbs up from the hospital bed.
Yeah, basically. I didn't know until I saw that pic. I thought maybe she just picked up a little knock again, but no, look, it's gone out to fucking. So that's pretty much their season done now.
Well, that's a shame for the Euros, isn't it?
Yeah, in terms of experience-wise, that's a shame. But obviously, in terms, in one sense, it makes the job easier for a manager because she can just pick players that have been playing for her so far since she's come in back in the summer. He doesn't have to sort of get.
Go on.
Oh, dragged it.
It took a deflection.
Did it?
Yeah. She covers a lot of ground now as well, don't she? She's very clever.
She's very, very much like a Bergkamp. She is.
Yeah, do you know what? I was just literally thinking, Andrew. I was thinking she drops in them holes, don't she?
Yeah.
Goes this. That's obviously go back to Leah's goal here. That's a proper header. Looks like Arsenal men. Are you taking notes?
Cracking header that was.
Up there again for a corner here. Steph Catley with the happens here. Ball in. Lucky. Just didn't fall to any of our players in the end. Got a throw in though.
It's an unusual corner. Caused a bit of havoc, didn't it?
Birmingham City are still struggling, aren't they? In WSL, they're like two still.
Yeah.
Cool. We can batter them on Sunday then. Get revenge for New Year.
I wonder. Just going to have a look at the other score because Villa are playing at the minute as well, aren't
they? Chelsea, what you're doing?
Chelsea still 1-0.
I'm just checking that. Oh, it's 1-1. Sal Niguez equalised.
Yeah, they're going to lose that game, are they?
You never know. It could go to penalties still. Imagine if they did though. That would be like the ultimate kick in the teeth for any Chelsea fan today. And the thing is, obviously us, you're going to have rival fans going at Chelsea fans now, and not the football channels and platforms going. End of an era starts tonight, and things it'll just be an absolute murder for Chelsea. They get knocked out tonight.
How difficult will it be for Reading to go in with such a big scoreline at half time?
Half time in the video game, 0-0.
Cool. Who they got?
Everton at home in the Super League.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I've just checked. Yeah.
Can you be a little bit more confident on it? Can you go forward and be brave, but at the same time remain organised defensively?
Cup game's on tonight.
Arsenal go forward.
Is it a draw tonight as well for the next round?
Tomorrow night.
Okay.
About his keeper, that Luton goalkeeper, to be fair. That's Sorrell, whatever his name is. He's done nothing for old Chelsea Thursday. I forgot he was there.
He barely played this season. Came in with big, obviously, the reputation and all that.
Did they spend big money on him?
No, I think it's a loan with an option to buy for 40 mil. It's on loan for the season and an option.
Well, that ain't going to happen, is it?
And literally came in, made his debut straight from the off. And, yeah, the difference.
What did they get from Atletico?
Atletico Madrid, yeah.
Yeah.
He was fantastic at Atletico, but obviously that's different. It just goes to prove certain players are suited to different leagues.
Maybe he'd been right next to Party.
Arsenal, are you listening?
No, not now.
What
do you reckon about? I'd be interested in their go. They must surely go for someone in the summer, though. Centre mid.
Well, Jay, we were just saying last night they've clearly got plans and ideas of who they want, but obviously in terms of budget wise, they don't want to go and commit to anything yet until they know what side of the top four they finish, either top four itself or.
Here we go.
Caitlin, go on. Come on, no. Oh, check the goalkeeper, unlucky.
Oh yeah, they'll clearly know who they want, won't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't be adverse to Tillemans.
Yeah, I was saying that. I've been saying it for a while actually. But I'm saying it a lot recently in the streams that even when I'm doing like neutral match of the day stuff, I'd take him in a heartbeat. Imagine him in our midfield.
Yeah, 100%.
Along with obviously Odegaard, Partey. Allowing obviously Partey to do his bit, where obviously being a more solid unit in that pivot, and he can just get the ball and just pass it to Odegaard, and Odegaard does his bit.
Oh, he'd be perfect in that left 8 position that Jack is playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We get in Champions League football. I think we've got a great chance getting him.
Yeah,
because if you look at Liverpool could go for him, to be fair. But they've got quite a lot of centre midfielders, haven't they?
Yeah.
But then they're aging their centre midfielders a lot, aren't they? When you start looking at Thiago and Henderson.
You start looking at Henderson, Thiago, Fabinho as well.
Fabinho.
They're the only 10 that really concern me. Like, Man United, we won't go there. Chelsea, I can't see it. I think Chelsea will go for Declan Rice at some point.
Yeah.
Gives them the money to do it.
God, what's his name?
Name the couple will help you.
The fairly young, sort of mid-20s English centre midfielder from Chelsea. No, from Chelsea. England international. No, England international. The got that
Loftus-Cheek.
Loftus-Cheek. Thank you. God, my brain. Honestly, it does my head in sometimes. I still like him. He's not getting anywhere near enough minutes from Chelsea. I've always liked him as a player as well.
Injury prone now, isn't he?
He's a little bit he hasn't been injured for quite a long time though. He's been fit and available for the last couple of seasons.
Did he get an England squad for one of the World Cups or Euros?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I think it was under Roy Hodgson, and he's literally like
he's wasting his career. He's wasting his career, and I think especially under the current situation now.
Gary's putting my leg. He's putting my leg, Gary. I'm just checking now to confirm that.
Oh my God! Seriously, let's that be true.
Nah.
Let me go back. Yay!
Oh, man.
Oh!
Who scored?
Oh, my God.
Harry Connick. Connick.
I think that one I like though. You saying that about him being at Royal under Wellington Palace. Is that Conor Gallagher?
Conor
Yeah.
Gallagher, yeah, he's on that.
Yeah.
Chelsea, yeah.
Like they're not going to play. The thing is with them, they're not going to play him, are they? They're like, it's not Chelsea.
Apparently Tuchel's saying that he is going to be a big part of their team next season. But whether you believe that or not, I don't know. But that's what he said.
I think he's just
That's what he
saying that
said.
probably to get player in favour just in case things go wrong with this. Obviously, yeah,
he might need to play him next year, might.
But Loftus-Cheek surely will want to move, especially with the World Cup coming up in December. He can't be happy with at his age not playing enough that many games.
Of course, I think he will want to move. Especially, and I think again what you say is that if we're in Europe, be it or Chelsea, Man City, or the cup final anyway. Oh well, don't care about that then. I thought it was the league. Yeah, as I say, it's World Cup, and especially if we're back in be it Champions League or Europa League, we have European football to offer again.
Yeah.
That's what he's got at Southampton, and he's got a chance of playing regular football.
I'm not even saying he'll start every game for us, but he'll be a great squad player.
But yeah, he'd have a chance at Arsenal to fight for his spot, basically. Whereas at Chelsea, he got not a chance.
No, exactly.
Who's that?
Loftus-Cheek.
I'll
say
good competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, the striker at Southampton that's on loan at Southampton will be linked with.
Oh yeah, he looks brilliant. He does, bro.
Yeah, he does. What's it? 2021.
Yeah.
Fits.
Oh,
Here we go. Go on for that cross. Scott, it's got to be. Oh my God.
Caitlin Ford.
That's poor.
Oh, this is what I mean. She does some really good things, and then she does things like that quite often. Caitlin.
She's got to do my look. She's got. That's easy.
Yeah, literally, it's timing it. If they're not going to shoot, then time it.
That's a really poor ball, but.
Oh dear, could be a good night for us. Come on, Luton.
But anyway, last thing I'll say about him, but I don't think he'll cost a lot of money either, that Loftus-Cheek. And he's also clearly Premier League ready and experienced as well.
Yeah.
Another English. So it'd be a great squad player.
Yeah, I think
definitely a squad. Definitely, I wouldn't be adverse to it. Was like squad player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly. Like
exactly.
you said, he'd had proper in-depth competition there. He's got experience playing for club and country. He's still at a good age, isn't he? Was he 25, 26?
Yeah.
About that, yeah. So he fits the profile as well.
Well, how much do you reckon? 10 to 15 million?
About that, yeah, 10, 15.
But, I mean, even if it's say 20, it's not a lot in this day and age, is it, for an English player? It's Premier League proven.
Coming from a
I was going to say to you earlier on when we was talking about something else. I was saying I do really hope we bring another English player in the summer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
because I just think it just adds that spirit, don't it? When you see players like Ben White, Ramsdale, do you know what I mean?
He's a proper unit as well, isn't he? That Loftus-Cheek is massive.
Oh yeah, he's tall, isn't he? He's
really tall and big. Yeah, he's massive. He
should have been doing much better than what he is doing, if we're being frankly honest. But I think that's the problem when you're sitting around Chelsea for so long,
wasting your career.
Just not a club that you want to come through, is it? Through the youth academy. I know they've been superb in terms of what they've done in terms of like trophies with their youth academy, but what have they really got to show of it in their first team? Absolutely nothing.
Not a lot. And was it 2 seasons ago? He did the full season at Fulham, didn't he? Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah.
He looked really good there as well. Even though they went down, I still really liked him the way he played. He didn't let him down. So I'd take him definitely.
Yeah, I think it's good name to throw. I think that's a good name to throw out. Definitely.
Half time.
Half time. I'm going to switch over to ITV quickly.
I was reading today. You said I read it. It's only the Sun, mind you, but they were linking Danny Ceballos with Crystal Palace in the summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
really, bloody hell.
Wouldn't be a bad move. He's got his critic. I quite liked him as a player, but he wasn't. I don't know if he wasn't right for us long term, but maybe under Vieira might have a good opportunity of playing every single week for a start. And
he had a bit of needle to him, though, didn't he? Like he was a bit.
I quite liked him. He really bought into the Arsenal as a club, didn't he? And he went mental right every time he scored. And
He was superb in that final, wasn't he? He was superb in the cup final.
Yeah, he was. To be fair, yeah.
The second season just didn't go to plan whatsoever, did it for him?
No, so it was just stagnated, didn't it?
No, sadly.
Which is a shame. But I remember his debut against Burnley. I was like, "Fucking hell, mate! This is like a new Cazorla."
I was there as well. I was thinking, "Wow, what a player we got here." It sort of went dipped off, and then Ozzy Arteta come along. Then the COVID, and obviously came back in the comeback in the Premier League return and all that. As we all know, it was a big reason why we got to the FA Cup final, because obviously his goal got us to the semis.
Yeah, that's right.
It was from that game that we started seeing the Danish surprise we were hoping for.
Really good goal, that was actually.
Oh God, Chelsea players down. It's Mason. Did that make them? I'm sorry, I just switched over while it's half time, by the way.
Yeah, I might as well do that as it goes.
They've got 5 minutes injury time. I switched over. It's like 5 minutes injury time.
Who's presenting there? Is Alex Scott?
It would be either Alex Scott or Laura Woods, one of the two. Because Gary obviously did it. Because Gary did it yesterday, didn't he? So probably Alex Scott actually. Okay, she's a busy bee for the next few months. Doing a bit of a job here. Obviously doing the hosting for this. Doing a Saturday job with Football Focus in the midday, and all the stuff that goes in between that. And then obviously she's writing herself a fucking book that's coming out in September.
Yeah, and she'll have the Euros in the summer.
Yeah, Euros. Yeah, so very busy. Yeah, Euros.
I mean, she's a quality presenter, though, isn't she? She's really good. Really like her.
One of the ex-players that knows what they're talking about as a pundit. Who would have guessed? Going by the likes of Gary Neville, bloody what's his name? The Spitter.
Carragher.
Yeah.
He's a idiot, isn't he?
Anyone else would have done that and it'd been in the public eye, they would have been sacked. Oh, because it's Jamie and Scouser, that's okay. We were suspended for a few months and bring him back and act like nothing's ever happened.
It made me laugh the other week when Souness was going into Kurt Zouma and I think Carragher was sitting there next to him. And I was thinking to myself, because Souness was going right in and rightly so. But I was thinking, don't say anything, Carragher, because anything you say, you'll just be a hypocrite anyway. Because you're as bad.
Hi, Mohammed.
Yeah, Mohammed's in the chat saying, hi guys. Special greeting to my friend Andrew. Thanks, Mohammed. Obviously, sports journalist. He's been on your channel recently, hasn't he?
Yes, well. Yeah, I love the guy from Palestine.
And then Gary's like in shock still. He's like 6 shots on target in a half in an Arsenal shirt. What?
I know, brilliant.
For even winning.
Well, obviously, he wasn't expecting it to be this comfortable. It's brilliant to watch. It's great that we're back to form like we were earlier on in the season. Because we were struggling for a little while, weren't we?
Need it.
Yeah. It was sort of around the time we lost Leah to that injury, just before the
absolutely.
final.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it was just went on the Ruben Moore and BT just wasn't working as a partnership. They couldn't communicate clearly for one to stay put and one to go forward or not. And then it's just had an effect on our form for a bit. I think that Chelsea result though, even though it was a 0-0 draw, that in itself was huge for the morale of the club at that time. And it's half time at Luton. Go on, Luton.
Good first half there.
Is it former? Oh, what's his name? Who did? I can't remember his name now. Former Arsenal player, obviously came from the Arsenal academy. He went off to Forest. I can't remember his name. Oh, I can't remember his fucking name. What's it?
Who's that? Who's that?
Well, as a midfielder, this is years ago, back in, I say, 2010, 2011, around that sort of time. He came through our academy, obviously, played a few games, and then we sold him to. I don't think we sold him to now. I think Henry Lansbury. That's it, Lansbury.
Oh, Henry Lansbury.
Yeah, he's at Luton now.
Did he score against Spurs?
Yeah, that's how I remember.
In that 4-1 win?
Yeah.
After extra time.
Yeah,
he did, didn't he? Henry Lansbury. He was at Forest, weren't he?
He was at Forest, and then I think this season he left in the summer. He left Forest and joined Luton. He's joined Luton this season. But apparently he's been playing okay, actually. Oh, he's got. Oh, that's 21. That's 2010-11, yeah, around that time frame. He's got to be getting into his career then, pushing towards it at least. Well, Gary Lineker's doing it again. Oh, great!
I think Alex Scott was at the Arsenal game, weren't she?
Yeah, I'm just going to check now, make sure.
I think she's presenting that.
Yep, in a massive body over her head, along with Rachel Yankee from Arsenal. It must be lashing down. Look at the size of the umbrellas; they're bigger than them. You would have thought they would have given them better.
Southampton beat West Ham.
Southampton beating West. Are they beating West Ham or beaten?
Beating.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Didn't see that before. Was that a cup game or was that? It's got to be a cup.
Yeah, it's FA Cup, mate.
Very fair play to Southampton then.
That Liverpool Norwich is going to be a one-horse race. That one, isn't it?
We know that's going to be literally an absolute thumping now.
Yeah.
But Liverpool on a bit of a high of obviously winning the cup, the League Cup anyway the other day. So yeah, it's going to be an absolute. Here's our new cup. Yeah, and
is old Loren working for the FIFA?
I don't know who he's working for now.
It's got a picture of Arsene Wenger always learning from Brest now at FIFA.
Maybe he's got a job there.
Enjoying the workshop in Germany. He was a good player, weren't he?
I'll bring it back up when Andrew comes back. Don't worry about that. And Wigs Electric is saying hello, everybody. Hello.
Good evening, mate.
Hope you're all keeping well. But yeah, we're just waiting for the second half to get back underway for this game. It is currently 3-0 at half time. And apparently Ruben Moore's taking time out to have an interview, apparently. Okay. You're on the bench and all that, but I don't think that's... Unless she's let me have a look. Is she on the bench? No. Okay, I'll let you off. Ruben, this time. I was going to say, what? Who allowed that to happen? This one's got to say, one sec.
Those matches at the end of the month because Arsenal got 2 matches at the Emirates. You've got Wolfsburg in the Champions League, Spurs in the Super League. As a player, what's it like? I know this is your pro, but what's it like playing at the Emirates? It's an exciting time for Arsenal Football Club at the moment.
Come here.
Oh, bloody hell.
So reality is, every game must win at the moment. But we're also looking towards Wolfsburg. They've only lost one game in the Frauen Bundesliga at the moment. So by the time we play them in March, it could be that.
Oh, I didn't realise the game on ITV as well.
Liverpool Norwich. This is what I'm saying. The kickoff times all over the place.
Did they have games? They did have games on 2 channels yesterday, though, did they?
Yeah, Man City versus
Peterborough, was that on ITV?
That was on ITV. Peterborough versus Man City was on ITV. That was the first kickoff of the night. There's a weird one, kickoff time as well.
Mate, it's well weird, isn't it? Like there's football on all the terrestrial TV at the same time.
I don't know why. Again, because I'm used to obviously like the main rounds of an FA Cup being at a weekend. I don't know why they've gone down the route of playing an FA Cup during midweek.
It's been like it for a few years, though, isn't it? If being honest.
Yeah.
It's like even before lockdown, we played Portsmouth, didn't we, on a Tuesday?
Yeah, that's when I think that was their test one, wasn't it? And that season.
Like I said, we're in the top of the competitions at the moment, and we've got high aspirations in all of them. We want to push for wins, and we're a high aspiring team. And
yeah, you're not. Wolfsburg, the team we've got in the Champions League quarterfinals has only lost one game in their league this season, so no pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, the girls. Well, the subs came back out onto the bench anyway.
Oh, just looking forward to Sunday now, mate.
Yeah, Watford. Yay! That's gonna be.
Mate, we have to beat them, mate. We have to beat them.
I think Man United's game, even though it was a 0-0 draw, all that pretty much proved. All we've got to do, turn up on the day on Sunday, take a chance, and we win. Because going forward, Watford offered nothing. Watford clearly went there to just try and get at least a point. But there was times when it wasn't even great defending that got them out. That's it. Got them out of their 0-0 draw. It was bad.
Yeah.
From United.
Yeah, exactly. It was like not being funny. We know what Roy Hodgson's going to do. He's going to sit. Do you know what? I'd be more worried about playing them away from home.
Yeah.
I mean, playing them at home. I'd be more worried about playing them at the Emirates than playing them at their place. Because I just think, mate, we'll just have too much for them. And they've got to somehow come out. So they can't just sit not 11 men behind the ball at home.
Yeah. And their fans won't allow it. They'll go mental. Even if it is getting them something out of it, they still won't allow it. But like, we want to see good football. But you could get relegated. Tough. Okay, then bang. Yeah.
Watford go down. Yeah,
I think they've gone. Yeah.
I don't know who goes the other one though, mate. It was a bit of a bad result with Burnley last night, weren't it? But they've been doing all right.
I think that was one of the games then, wasn't it, as well? Because that was a chance to put Everton in the bottom three instead.
I don't see Everton going down, though, do you?
They shouldn't go down, but they need to sort their consistency out and hope the referees are on their side from now on.
I was looking at their fixtures last night. My mate Paul was showing them, and I was like, bloody it, mate, their games are hard.
Yeah, that's not going to help their consistency out. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Even since Lampard's come in, it's because obviously been partway through a season now. They've won a game, lost a game, won a game, lost a game. But really in the games they win as well, they look really good. And then they're going.
Leeds is an interesting one as well because of where they've got new. Like they've done the right thing in sacking him, mate, because they would have gone down 100% with him. But it's whether a new manager can come and have an impact.
What with Bielsa, they just out of nowhere started leaking goals for fun every game. It was just getting bits, and then as an owner, you're thinking, "Oh, I want to stay in the Premier League, mate. Bye bye."
Well, the whole fan base is in mourning. None of them still wanted him to go. Well, very few. It's going to be really hard for any manager to go and follow him.
I think it's going to make it harder because obviously when he came along, he sort of bought into the not just how the club is and all that, but the local area. He when they got promoted, he literally came out of his home there on the day and was having photos with the fans. This is again, just after the first lockdown, having photos of the fans like saying thank you and obviously their support and all that. So there's a connection there as well. So it's
to be fair, when you make Tottenham look good, you deserve to go, don't you?
What's that?
When you let Tottenham make you look good, when you make Tottenham look so good, you deserve to go.
Yeah. No, I mean, to me, I said he's turning into a bit of a parody of himself. He's like a clown figure now to other fans, like us, other fans.
Yeah.
But for him, for the Leeds fans, he's still like some kind of god figure.
Yeah. He fixed what needed fixing at Leeds, didn't he? He came in and done that as well. He's gotten back into the Premier League, hasn't he? Got to the promised land. So
the thing is, he's not had his spine of his team, has he? For most of the season, he's missed his main defender, his main midfielder, and his main attacker. It's not going to hurt any team.
Yeah, that's true. But then you got to change. You got to change, didn't you? And he refused to change.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think did he really bring anyone in the winter window either? Like experience-wise, a sort of stable as shit.
No.
I think the problem with teams that come up in their first season, like a lot of teams are very much don't get found out in their first season, do they? Like look at Sheffield United in their first season when they played that three at the back. No one understood it, did they? But when the second season come and people have got used to that kind of team, they struggle, don't they? And it's a bit like him with Leeds. Like people knew what to expect. They're just going to try and outscore you, aren't they? And like you said, Andrew, when you ain't got your spine, you ain't. Chances are you're not going to outscore many teams whatsoever in this league.
No, exactly.
There are a few more snakes, by the way, coming out, but they're out.
No, I was going to say, like, I'd rather Bias was in charge when he comes to the Emirates because I'd be more than comfortable. It would beat him about 3-4-0 because he'd just play the same way.
Yeah. The thing is, I think that the guy, Jesse Marsh, that got in is a really good manager. But whether it's the right place and the right time for him to try and prove himself in the Premier League, it's going to be so tough to win over that fan group.
What was it? His last job? He only lasted not even 6 months in his last job.
What was his last job?
I think it was.
Leipzig. He was at Salzburg, then Leipzig, wasn't he?
Leipzig, yeah. Salzburg he did well at, but Leipzig, he lasted literally a few months, and he's been outed. So he's got the pressure of that because these fans will do their research. I think, well, if you didn't last long in there, how are you going to work here in the Premier League and we are in a relegation scrap?
He hasn't got massive experience, though, has he? Really?
No, it's going to be really interesting to see how he gets on. I mean, apparently it's about 2 weeks when Phillips and Bamford are going to be back. So this is what a lot of the fans were saying. Surely they could have given him another couple of weeks to try and get his spine back to try and keep them in the league. Because if he'd have kept them in the league, and even if they finish 17th, then he's done his job, keeping them in the league for another season. So it's going to be so tough for him, this new guy, Jesse Marsh.
I actually hope Leeds stay up, though, to be fair. I want Leeds to stay up.
God, I'd much rather them than bloody Burnley any day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, mate, I want to see it. Oh.
I'm sick of Burnley.
Mate,
most pointless team.
I must watch 3 or 4 of their games lately. Like obviously one of them, obviously Arsenal, and every game I watched, I felt depressed after watching the game. I'm just like, how do their fans put up with it week in, week out?
They've made a cracking signing though, and that Wout Weghorst, he could be the difference.
Oh yeah, he's very good. Yeah.
I mean, he would have been a great Plan B striker for us, to be honest with you. He's not only great in the air; he's got a great touch as well. He's good, technically good.
I actually think Burnley will stay up.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they've been beaten 7 or 8 games. I don't think they've lost now.
Brentford, I tell you what, mate,
they're scaring me.
I know. I hope they do in a way because I'd love to get Ivan Toney as a second striker as well.
That's not a good shout. That's a good shout.
He's a great player. He's not able to show his best in the Premier League with Brentford, but I'll tell you what, with Saka, Smith Rowe, Ødegaard, Martinelli supplying him, I'm telling you, mate, he'd be a great cracking player for Arsenal.
Yeah. And that's kind of plan B that we kind of need, isn't it? There's no point like we did before with getting 2 superstars like Lacazette and Aubameyang in to compete.
Another Englishman who is with experience in this league, no adaptation time. If they go down, I'll be straight up, for him.
How much do you reckon for him? How much?
30, 35, maybe.
Yeah, because he hasn't scored loads of goals this year to say that he's worth more than that, really, is he?
No. If they go down, that's the sort of price we'd have to pay, I reckon.
Yeah.
If they stay up, then you could probably add an extra 10 mil on that.
I think they might. I don't see Everton going down still. I think there's still too much about the squad at the end of the day to stay. I think they should at least win 3 or 4 games still.
Be hilarious if they do.
Brilliant.
It's like you're saying, even they've got a tough run in the next few weeks. It's not going to be easy. There's no easy games coming forward for them.
Well, you look at every game we got. You look at you think every game's hard. Like you look at Palace away, Villa away, Newcastle away. You're like, mate, there's not a game that you can really guarantee you're going to get 3 points.
No.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
Watford
no,
and Norwich are doomed, aren't they? Norwich and Watford are 2 of the 3 that are definitely going to go down.
Yeah. I'll be really gutted if we didn't get 3 points on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
As, like I said about United before they played Watford at the last weekend, if United can't beat Watford, they don't deserve Champions League football. If we can't beat Watford, we don't deserve Champions League football. With all due respect to Watford.
No. They're saying at Watford like a few years ago when they used to have like Troy Deeney up front and a bit of character about them. This is a Watford that sacked their manager week in, week out. Like this, they're 100% sucking the soul out of the club the way they're managing the managers and that club and all that. And you got Roy Hodgson, no offence to him, he's 74 years old, and all he's going to do is play 8 defenders against you. And
yeah, it's still going to be down to us to break them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm quite confident that we'll do them, especially with Partey and Xhaka in midfield. I think we'll be too strong for them.
It's going to be a tough one. No Roy Hodgson. He's been there long enough now to try and get his methods across to improve their defending. So, yeah, they're just going to have 2 banks of 4 or maybe a 4 and a 5.
Yeah.
and it's going to be down to us to break them down. So I can't see it being a big scoring game, but I'll be happy with a 1-0, 2-0, obviously.
Right.
Anything. The 3 points is the most important, obviously, now at this stage of the season.
Yeah, you don't worry about performances now, do you, really? As such.
No.
Well, lucky.
I'm confident we'll win Sunday.
Yeah.
I think we'll have too much in terms of like players like Saka and...
I'm in a real quandary. I'm going to be... on Sunday, it's my son's semi-final, and I'm going to be out. He's going to be playing at when we kick off.
Oh God!
I think it's going to be the same kick-off time, so I'm going to have it on my phone and watch 2 matches at the same time because obviously I'm really excited about my son's semi-final as well. So,
How old is he?
14. He's already taller than me. He's got massive. He's like big centre half. Used to be a attacking midfielder, which is still his favourite position, but he's been played at centre half and he's doing a good job.
Yeah. Good luck to him.
Yeah, thanks.
Hopefully a double on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be a well happy man.
Yeah, because the games kind of come thick and fast after Sunday, don't they? Because
Thank God.
And that's the 6 days or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank God. I hate these massive long breaks. It's do my head in.
Yeah. Also, the next couple of weeks as well. I think that after from Watford till the international break, it sort of gets the players used to that game every few days sort of scenario. So it could be they're more likely going to be in, be it Europa League or Champions League next season. They'll be playing midweek basically, so it gets them used to that sort of side of psychological side of things as well, and what the players that haven't been through that before. And
I tell you, surely
Leicester, we should get 6 points there. It's Liverpool. If we can get a point out of Liverpool, fantastic. Considering where they're going for the title, if we can get a point there, fantastic. And then go and do business at Villa.
Yeah. Surely that Tottenham game's got to come out soon, though. Like now they're at the cup and all that.
Yeah.
I think that'll be literally what we in March. Yeah, when's I think.
I reckon it might be like during that FA Cup semi-final weekend.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, think about it.
They're definitely hoping. They're hoping for it to be crunch clash for top 4, aren't they? And I think they're holding back for Sky coverage because they're hoping it's going to be a big game.
I noticed that the other day when they announced the first 2 weeks of the April fixtures. They usually do that the entire month. They've done 2 weeks and that's it. So it's like you say that they're hoping there's something to go for in the last few weeks of the season. So here's a go. All the big games. Here you go.
It would surprise me if he's Saturday or he's Sunday, that game. Because I didn't realise, I was speaking to my mate, because he's a Palace fan, because obviously in the quarters, he could be missing the semi because he's at a wedding. And I didn't realise that the FA Cup this year is on Easter Saturday and Easter Sunday, apparently.
All right.
What, the semis?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
It was well made, didn't it?
I hope Patrick goes and does it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sky
He needs a bit of luck in the next draw, though, don't he, in trying to avoid City or Liverpool.
Yeah, definitely.
What was it? Sky was saying today is that going back to his playing time, his playing days, he's on a 14-match win streak in the FA Cup as a player, now manager. In this competition. Yeah.
Yeah, because he must be at Man City the year they won it.
I think he was, yeah, as a squad player, yeah. But his first season wins Palace their first FA Cup at their third attempt, but he's obviously his first season at Palace and all that, where he left Arsenal as well with the FA Cup. He comes along back to London, but obviously in Crystal Palace side of things, and wins them the FA Cup against all the odds. And it would be against the odds because we've got Man City, as you say, Man City and Liverpool still in the cup, and possibly Chelsea if they don't.
Yeah,
they fight back tonight. If they fight back,
they'll definitely want someone like Southampton or Middlesbrough, won't they?
Yeah.
There's not really many. Or Everton got Boreham Wood potentially, so Everton should go through tomorrow.
I mean, Bournemouth have caused a few upsets. I mean, their form's dropped since they got to Bournemouth, apparently, but
they were outstanding against Bournemouth, weren't they?
Yeah. I watched that game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
They didn't really create that much, Bournemouth either, did they? It weren't like Bournemouth were missing loads and loads of chances. They defended really well.
They got a proper, real old-fashioned spit and sawdust central defender there, haven't they, Boreham Wood? He was outstanding on the day.
Yeah.
Proper, shiner and black and broken nose type of player.
It was the Kidderminster one. That was the choker, wasn't it?
Oh, unbelievable that was, yeah.
They didn't.
That would literally be the biggest upset of all time, I reckon.
Yeah, would have. They lost the game twice, technically, didn't they? Because the last minute of normal time, last minute of extra time, it's like such a wounder.
Literally last kick of the game as well.
Yeah, there's no way for them to respond. That's the ultimate sort of kicking them.
That's another away game we got as well, West Ham, innit?
Yeah, well, I fancy our chances against them now. They're not the same team as they were earlier in the season. And what's his name? Bloody hell. What's going on with my brain? They're centre forward.
Antonio.
Thank you. It's bloody, I've got an excuse. I've got fibromyalgia and I get fibro fog in my brain. And I can't suddenly remember something that's so basic. But Antonio, he hasn't scored. I think I heard a stat. He's only scored one goal in the last 14 games or something. He's he goes through real spells of being hot and not, doesn't he? But he's like similar to Lacazette. He works really hard for the team, creates and works his socks off, but just doesn't score goals.
Yeah, I was speaking to a West Ham fan. I watched that second half. I said the same thing. And goes, he reminds me of a stronger Lacazette. Like, does everything, does everything, but can't put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, really.
They should have beat Wolves 3-4-0 on Sunday, to be fair. And I think Wolves were tired after their game with Arsenal on Thursday. Yeah. So I think West Ham should have beat them, really. But, mate, he was useless in front of goal.
Yeah, he goes through stages of not being able to hit a barn door, same as Lacazette, and then he'll hit a rich vein of form and go on a run of like 4 in 5 or something like that, and then just go quiet again. But he's literally their only striker, isn't he? Similar to us, really.
Yeah, they got literally no one, have they? When you think about apart from who they put up front when he's injured, don't know what they do really.
No, I just think they have to make do without him.
They try that false line with like the wingers and inverting.
Benrahma.
Yeah, and Bowen and all that.
I mean, Bowen's a great player, isn't he? I really like Bowen.
Is he proud to go anywhere else, though, or do you think he's just at ease?
I think he. I mean, Nick sounds really stupid, right? But I honestly think that if he went to somewhere like Liverpool, he'd score a bag load of goals. I think he would suit their style absolutely spot on.
A bit like Jota.
Yeah, I think he's. I heard a rumor once that they were after him, and I thought, yeah, that makes sense. I think he's a really similar type of player to what they've got. I think he'd. be a fantastic sort of backup to Salah.
But I'd like to write Screw Liverpool over, though. I would at the Emirates.
Oh, mate. We did it a couple of seasons ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
Remember that backs to the wall 2-1 win? Everyone was laughing at the end because we had no idea how we won that game.
We need to make sure we got Partey and Xhaka fit for that game, because when we played him in that semi-final, it was clear that we just had no one in centre midfield and we were trying to bypass centre midfield. But like on when we played them, we got a Xhaka and Partey fit. At least give them a game. Do you know what I mean?
I think we just made a triple sub, haven't we?
Caitlin Ford's gone off for Beth Mead. Victoria's gone on for Moritz. I didn't see, Madam came on, but I didn't see who went off for.
There we are. Vine
Leah Walter.
Come on. But I mean,
Leah Walter.
No Tobin Heath again.
There's two more subs left, don't worry.
I know, but it's half an hour left.
You think it's been a game to player, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but don't you realise that obviously us fans actually want to see her play as well? Do it for the fans, if not anything else.
She seems to be the women's version of Nicolas Pepe, don't she?
Yeah. Just don't like it, can't we?
Mate, honestly, it's doing what it does my head in. It's stupid. Why have her in the first place if you're not going to play her? Because everyone wants to see her. She's one of the most famous players as well. Everyone wants to see her. It'll boost viewing figures, mate.
I'll tell you what, he's got a strong squad there, though, isn't he, when you look at it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, much better. We made some good signings.
Russ has joined us. How you doing, Russ? You recovered from Sunday?
How you doing, mate?
Hello, Russ.
Oh, dear. Russ, out of interest, Russ, obviously you're in the chat. What are your thoughts on the Chelsea debacle? What would I say debacle? Debacle for them. Jumping for joy for us. Let's have a look.
It makes you so angry, though. I was watching, the Dennis Bergkamp documentary on the Arsenal player.
Watched
it on YouTube. The Arsenal Legends series.
Yeah.
I watched a Dennis Bergkamp one the other day, and it really makes you think with all this Chelsea stuff now, how with their money, the way that things happened, they bought their way to some trophies that would have been rightfully ours.
Yeah.
Without question. Would have won a couple more leagues and a couple more cups at least if it wasn't for Chelsea buying their way to those
Chelsea,
trophies.
Yeah, well, Chelsea wasn't involved. We would have defended our... If Chelsea and Roman weren't around, Roman wasn't around to do what he did at Chelsea, we would have won, but defended our title in 05. Therefore,
I know.
We would have defended that.
Quite a good ball.
It makes you sick, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The money doping of the sport.
Yeah,
It really hasn't been fair. The way that teams do it properly. I mean, that's why you've got to, whether you love them or hate them, you've got to respect Liverpool because at least they've done it the right way.
Yeah, they went down the organic route. Yeah,
same as us, and Man United to some extent. They get their money from merchandising right across the world. They've been clever about it, but. With Man City and Chelsea, it does make you really sick the way that they've done it falsely by cheating, basically. And the amount of other trophies we would have won if it weren't for them. We would have had I reckon we would have had a Champions League as well because that year we got knocked out by that Chelsea. Makes you sick. When we got beaten with Chelsea.
The
Wayne Bridge goal. Yeah, it's
2004. Yeah,
I mean that wouldn't have happened, and we were the best team in the world at that point. We were like the Harlem Globetrotters. Smashing everyone.
Literally in Europe, we were the team. We after we got off the initial cobwebs off of us after the first couple of games in the group stages, we became the team to beat in Europe. And as you say,
do you reckon we'd have gone unbeaten if we got to the Champions League final?
Yeah, I don't see why not. That year we were unstoppable.
I think,
mate. And you watch that.
I reckon you'd have arrested much more players, mate.
Yeah, you watch that Bergkamp documentary. It's like he said every player was going onto the pitch thinking that they were all individually going to score 2 or 3 goals that day. They were that confident. running through the whole side.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, we was unbelievable at that time. I remember back in them days, mate. It's a shame I don't know as many people now as then. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, I remember going to my mates. He's going around every week, and his family were all against me, mate. And I was sitting there laughing. The game had been kicked off, and I'm like, we're going to win this 3-4-0. And I remember once we played Leeds in a couple. We were 1-0 down, and they were giving it. I was like, mate, we're going to win this 4-1, and we won it 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1.
But you just knew, that Henry was going to score every game. You just knew that.
Oh.
We was lucky to have that, but it does feel that we got robbed off a Champions League massively, but both in 2004 and 2006. Obviously, was really harsh on it because obviously the red card. But you're right, 2004 should have been the year we won that Champions League. We were the best team in the world by a country known. And I still can't work out how Nedved got Player of the Year that year. Player of the Year. That's
a fix. There's no way that Henry didn't win it. I mean, he was the best player in the world for 4 straight years. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt about that.
Yeah, no, there's not one person in the world that would say anything different as well.
No, I know.
There we go.
Oh, God.
Crossbar. That's
Beth,
best as well.
But like, who was it to find? Who won that year? Yeah, Porto. Like the Monaco Porto in the final. I mean. Like,
that was our competition. If it wasn't for that bloody Wayne Bridge goal,
we just got stuck in. We got stuck in a trap, didn't we? With 10 minutes to go, we didn't know whether to defend or attack, and that was the problem. Yeah. That's the problem with that Champions League. With the away goal, we got stuck in that trap in that last 10 minutes, and that's what cost us.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If it wasn't for this Russian billionaire's dirty money, none of that would have happened. No, and that's what I mean. What's happening now, obviously unravelling at Chelsea, it makes you so sick that it all happened in the first place, that they literally bought their way to titles that we should have won, trophies that we should have won, and we would have rightfully won in those years if it weren't for that. And it's just not proper sport when you just buy your way to the title.
No, what I was going to say, if we'd got through that night, we'd have played Monaco in the next round, and their home leg would be the second leg. I have no doubt we'd have got through that.
I would have won the whole thing, mate. Yeah. Porto wouldn't have been able to cope with us at the time. This is when, you know what I mean, Henry was at his world's best.
It was on that day that we lost to Chelsea. The same day, Real Madrid got knocked out by Porto, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The same day that we lost to Chelsea. It's just, that's what I mean. If it had just got through that game, there's no way we wouldn't have won that.
Mate. I think we'd have killed them.
Yeah. There's no way we wouldn't have won that year. And if we had, this is the funny thing, this is a sliding doors moment, right? Like the what if cult. This is really interesting because if we had have won that year, would Mourinho be the manager that he became? Sure. Because he only hit the big time because he won the Champions League with Porto.
Yeah, that's true.
If he hadn't have won it with Porto that year, would he have just been another one of those also ran managers that would have just faded away?
Here's another one for you. If we'd won the Champions League, do you think Wenger would have stayed as long as he did?
I think he would, because he gave his assurances when at 2006 when he made the plans to move to the Emirates. He obviously gave assurances that he was going to stay for the length of time to pay off the stadium from 2006 for 5 years. Because I've also watched, not long ago, the interview that he had with Ian Wright where he explained that. And when he gave his word that he would stay to pay off the hundreds of millions of pounds for the stadium, he would undoubtedly have stuck to his word, because that's the way he is, isn't he? He gave us his word, and that's it. He won't go back on it, on an agreement. So I think he still would.
I reckon if he had won that, mate, he'd have won it a couple of times as well. Do you know that? Because I think the confidence he would have given that team as well, and I think the team would have kind of stuck together a little bit more. I think the 2006 one. I'll tell you the reason why the 2006 one really hurts me. It's not even that we didn't win it. It was just like how the team got dismantled straight after that. Like how it affected Robert Perez, who had been an incredible player for us because he got substituted because of the red card and all that. I thought it was quite a sad way to kind of finish in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? With some of
Really
them players.
sad. And going back to the Bergkamp documentary again as well, I just felt so sorry for the bloke that he didn't win a Champions League, and he really regrets not winning a Champions League. It's the only hole in his career. He said he would have loved to have won something with that brilliant sort of Holland team, the international team as well, and the Champions League with Arsenal. He said they're the only two things that are missing from his career. And
I think Toby's coming on.
Oh, good. What you wouldn't do for that man to have won a Champions League, the love we've got for that man, it would have been so good.
It's even like, here we go. It's even like with I know with Thierry Henry won it in the end for Barcelona, but you know deep down that would have felt nowhere near as much as if he had won it for Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it would have been a totally different feeling for him if he had won it for Arsenal with that team.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, it was just a bit gutting, wasn't it, really? But
you can sort of tell that when obviously he did win it with Barca that year, he was like straight away. I want to sort of dedicate it to Arsenal. The Arsenal fans, they deserved it, and all. So you could tell it didn't mean, even though it's obviously the first time he won it, it didn't have that same feeling as if he would have. He'd won it a couple of years ago.
And this is the whole basis of my argument for why it would be so lovely for someone like Haaland to choose Arsenal instead of going to somewhere like Real Madrid where you're guaranteed to win trophies, or a PSG, you're guaranteed to win trophies. It's not the same. It's not proper sport. That's why if you like Dennis Bergkamp chose to come to Arsenal to prove himself all over again as a player after his spell in Italy. And I know that Haaland doesn't have to come over and prove himself as a player, obviously, but if he could back himself to be the player that gets Arsenal to win the Champions League, to win the Premier League again as a challenge, that would mean so much more for a player than going somewhere like PSG and just winning the league year after year. You've only got to turn up.
Yeah,
I don't see why you want to go PSG anyway. I don't get the PSG kind of thing.
It's
just the money.
It's just an example.
Yeah.
But same applies to Real Madrid or Barcelona or Man City. You know, it's not a challenge.
Don't you not think with Neymar? I just think like you cheated yourself a bit, mate. Like going to PSG, just like you was in your prime and you went to PSG, which, like you said, all right, you played the Champions League football and all that, and they still ain't won it. Here we go.
Go on.
Just go.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a system! What a system, Vivian as well. Backstage with the goal, and Tobin Heaver's just come on for Katie McCabe as well in the months just before that.
Yeah. And that was all down to Tobin Heath, that goal.
Yeah.
Just because she came onto the pitch.
The ooze of class came through.
She was nowhere near the ball, but it was all down to her.
She's done well, mate. Yeah.
Great assist.
Oh, through the players there as well.
I mean, you have to admit, though, terrible defender.
Yeah, I was about to say, watching the replay now, and literally Vivian's ball goes through the defender's legs.
Nice.
Yeah, but this is completely unmarked on the 6 yard. I mean, the penalty spot, Blackstenius.
Yeah, I was going to say is with Neymar and all that, he just like I think he's kind of cheated himself quite a bit, like not being in a prime league, like in his peak years. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's all purely down to money. There's no sporting challenge involved, and that's what I mean about Haaland. I can't get my mind off it. It would be such a great move for him, as well as us. Obviously, it'd be a perfect.
Do you know what? My mate John, he's adamant that it could happen still. He cracks me up. But you know what? I don't rule it out. Like, we've got Champions League football with the Odegaard thing. I don't think it can be 100% ruled out whatsoever.
No, I mean, it would be amazing, wouldn't it? Can you imagine what it was like when we signed Ozil times 10 if we signed Haaland?
Yeah.
But I think it would be a perfect match.
Well, yeah, and that's what if he looks at it from a sporting point of view and looks at it and thinks, well, you know what? Right, they've got youngsters like Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, who I know already. They got like Saliba, who's going to be one of the up and coming defenders. Gabriel, Martinelli, right. And you start looking at it like that, and he might sit there and think, I could grow into this team like for the next 5 to 6 years. Where really, at the moment, Liverpool, Man City, they're going to have to transform over the next 5 to 6 years, aren't they?
Yeah, he could say, I could be the man to lead you to your Premier League title. I could be the man to lead you to the Champions League, and I could become an absolute legend at that football club. That's what these players should be really thinking about, rather than I'll just go for the money, and I'm bound to win something every single year to these other clubs, money clubs. It's the challenge has got to mean something to some players nowadays. Still, surely it can't all be about the money, because how much money can you actually need in your life? I mean, surely the challenge is got to be part of the decision. It would be for me.
Everyone works to pay. Everyone goes to work to be paid well, but you want to go to work to obviously enjoy it, don't you? And you like to sit there and think with these kind of players that they want to build a legacy at a club. Like, you don't really hear it often now, do you? As much like players building legacies at clubs. It's a bit sad, really, when you start thinking about it.
Yeah, I know, exactly. He could do that at Arsenal. He's young enough to become our all-time leading goal scorer, a true legend forever at our club. And let's face it, it's not as if we're asking him to come to like a small club. Arsenal is still a massive club in the world.
Oh, mate, yeah.
So it's not as if it's pie in the sky. I just want to keep my hope up. That's all. I'd absolutely love it, because can you imagine? It'd be the absolute final piece in our jigsaw. I mean, him in a midfielder. If we could get him, I mean, we'll be made.
I'd take as a midfielder.
Years.
Do you know who'd be quality as a midfielder? Like, who'd fit the mould as well, moving forward. Obviously, I don't expect us to get him, but if he did it, yet again, great chance to build exactly the same thing with Haaland as his teammate Bellingham.
Oh, yeah, mate.
Jude, mate, he's a quality player.
Right, exactly the same thing.
Be amazing, wouldn't it?
Exactly the same thing. And, like, not being funny, you could that's another kind of piece of the jigsaw. Like, if you got the right player in like him, who could be there for at least 7 to 8 years, do you know what I mean? What's he? 19 years old? Jesus, mate.
Something like that, yeah.
And he's got the world at his feet. Like,
yeah.
Whoever gets them two players, mate, gonna have a very good next 5 years ahead of them.
I mean, that'd be stuff of dreams are made of, wouldn't it?
Wait, and I think that we should be going for someone like Bellingham. Like, weren't we in for him before we went there?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Why not go? Why not go for Bellingham, mate? Why not do it? Why not put him next part?
Oh, what a ball that was initially too.
Going again.
Like, that's literally your midfield of Bellingham, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, set up for the next 7 to 8 years.
I'd probably cry myself to sleep for a good week if that happened. It'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it?
But he's got a lot of bollocks about him as well, old Bellingham, isn't he? Like, he's calling out the Dortmund players the other night because of the Rangers defeat and everything. So he's not someone who'll keep quiet either. He wants to win games. He wants to be a winner.
Well, early in the season, he got pulled in, didn't he, by the German FA because he came out and questioned the referee for the Dortmund game, didn't he?
Go on. Oh,
unlucky, got a corner. And because the referee in question was apparently a couple of years prior done for corruption.
Yeah, that's right.
He refereed that game, and obviously there's a few dodgy calls in that game. So he basically, after the match, in the after-match interview, called out the ref, and he got in trouble for it by the German FA. He didn't give a shit.
I think it's a great project at the moment. I think it could be a great project. Our project.
And this is what I mean, and you can't be accused of being not biased by saying what young player would not be interested in joining Arsenal at the moment. It'd be fantastic. It's a fantastic. We're poised to hit that next stage, and you can see a mile off that we're just 1 or 2 players short of being something very, very special. And why wouldn't you want to be part of that and be those final pieces of the jigsaw and have that challenge to take us back to where we belong?
Yeah,
it's a fantastic, exciting project for anyone to join. So that's why I'm refusing in my head to rule it out, because we just need hope. Don't you? Sometimes you just need hope. That's what football's all about, isn't it? without hope, what's the point in football?
2-2.
Yeah, that's obvious, isn't it?
Oh,
No, you got to keep the hope, mate. Do you know what I mean? I fully agree with you. I think. Do you know what? There's something in the back of my mind that says we're going to do a bit of something special in the summer with something. So, if it was that, and it was Haaland, mate, it'd be incredible. But whoever the next couple of signings are in centre midfield and in centre midfield and attack, is going to be absolutely defining about us moving forward.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
And why not go for the best?
Don't know what Zinsberger was doing there.
No, so switched off there. But
Straight out for fire.
Russ asked a question. I said, "We're going to be back on the screen for a second." He asked, "What does a Chelsea sell mean for the rest of the league? Can you see another foreign power taking over them?"
Oh yeah, it'd be another foreign owner, won't it?
No,
Well,
is it going to be a powerhouse owner like Roman, or is it going to be like a family sort of situation?
The big thing is it's got to happen quickly, right? And the main people that are in for it at the moment is a consortium of 6 led by that 83-year-old Swiss fella. Can't remember his name, but he's a Swiss billionaire, and he's combining powers with someone who owns one of the big US sports franchises. And again, I can't remember who it was because I read it earlier on today I think it was on the BBC website or something. But yeah, there's someone who owns like an American football team, and him are the main backers, and it looks like they're the only people in for it at the moment because obviously Abramovich is owed 1.5 billion by the club.
Yeah.
He wants 3 billion quid for the club or something along those lines, which is ridiculous, way above what they're actually worth, and they're just negotiating that down at the moment. But it looks like that's the main thing that could happen pretty quickly because he has to sell really quickly before all his assets are seized. They've got him over a barrel a little bit, and I can't, he's demanding a big amount of money, but I would imagine they'll probably compromise on something like £2 billion, which would not be a lot for the club, considering most of it is the debt owed to Abramovich anyway. So,
for the American league, as we've seen, fact it's not just of obviously the Cronkies, the
How
Glazers,
bad is it though in debt?
Gillette and Hicks as well. Any Americans sort of come into the country, they don't know how to, they don't know the sport, and it's sort of they're mismanaged the club. It all got falls apart. So if that's the case, bring it on.
I mean, I wouldn't be happy about an 83-year-old bloke owning in Arsenal, would you? I mean, that's not exactly long term, is it?
No, but it's Chelsea, and after all the stick we've had for the last 20 years from them lot, it'd be good to see them get brought back down to reality.
Oh, definitely. Anyone that takes it over, I mean, the chances of them using it as their plaything, like Roman Abramovich did, like a real life version of Football Manager.
Yeah,
because that's basically what he's been doing. He's been playing. He probably played Football Manager as a kid or Championship Manager. Got a bit bored with that, so he wanted to do it in real life.
Yeah,
because of the amount of money that he's got. So yeah, I'll do it from real life and take over a real football team and get all the best players in the world. And it ain't going to happen anymore, I don't think.
No.
So whatever happens, they're not going to be the same as they were. I can't see it. I really can't.
And also, whoever comes in, they've got to compete. Unlike when the Roman came along, it was just him really, apart from in terms of the financial powerhouse. Whereas now you got the City, you got Newcastle.
What a ball!
Here we go. Oh, that's gone too far.
Unlucky. That was a great pass, just a bit too heavy.
What do you with Newcastle at the end of the year? Do you think they're gonna spend a lot of money?
I think they'll make a marquee signing again, like they do with Bruno Gomes. I think they'll make.
Yeah, I think they'll do it gradually, won't they? I think they're going to be fairly sensible about it, rather than trying to get all the top players straight away. They're going to be a bit incremental.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a structure to them. I think they are going to have a structure. Just by they didn't really go and do stupid stuff in January window, did they?
No.
Yeah, it was all signings that were intent of getting them out of the situation they were in.
Quite smart ones. I think you can't knock them for the signings they made. I mean,
like the Trippier one until he got injured, mate, was a masterful one, wasn't he? Like
That's a massive loss to them because he was being top class for them, wasn't
it was brilliant, wasn't
he? But I think that they signed smart. I mean, even like Dan Burn, I think that was a really shrewd signing. Really, Premier League proven defender who's been playing well week in, week out. Every single week he was playing for Brighton in a good team. And I think that was quite smart. And they made a couple of decent signings like that. So,
And he paid about 30 million for that Dan Burn as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
12, I think it was. Yeah.
Oh, I should have scored there.
Oh my God,
This is why she doesn't play.
what a miss!
This is why she doesn't play.
Yeah, if she's not one of the world's best players, she's shite after all. Get off the pitch.
Do you reckon we can preach Chelsea's first place this year? Like I won't be really thinking about it really, but talking to a few last night, they're thinking that Chelsea still might struggle to end the season.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? If we could pick them to third now, it'd be amazing.
Even just drag them into it, innit?
But I mean, Everton are going to be in the same boat with
Bad news.
He's going to have the same issue.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to find a buyer for his shares, surely.
Weren't so bad not selling to him now, was it?
Oh God, you have to thank your lucky stars, don't you? Really.
3-2 Chelsea. Lukaku just
I thought you was going to show me 3-2 to Luton then.
Oh, shame for Luton. It'd be great if they could grab another equaliser, take it into extra time, knacker out Chelsea a bit more.
Then again, more games for Chelsea, mate. That's good to see.
Yeah. The longer they get those extra time, the longer on the pitch, the better.
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, good to take them to extra time like Spuds were last night. They were knackered. I mean, they literally played their first 11, didn't they? Full strength Spurs against Middlesbrough.
So bad.
And they were taken to extra time all the way through and obviously knocked out eventually. But that's not a good look, is it, when you have to pay 120 minutes? They're going to be knackered for the weekend.
They're lucky they got a game Monday, ain't they?
Ah, right.
But that's an interesting game. Tottenham-Everton, mate. I'll tell you, that's an interesting game, that is.
Yeah, well, Everton have to fight for. Tottenham was just inconsistent and shit.
They're both as shit as each other, aren't they?
Could be a down 0-0. Vivian's got player of the match as well on the BBC, just come up on my screen.
Yeah.
Gary, you're too slow. Even I'm ahead of you now on that side of things, telling us blue team's winning. Yuck.
Yeah, I said that earlier, Russ. I hope Mike Ashley buys Chelsea. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't think even he's got that much money, unfortunately.
I don't know.
That'd be amazing.
What did you get from saying Newcastle from the Saudis that bought them?
Oh, it's like pocket change to Roman Abramovich. I think he got like 350 million or something, didn't he?
Oh, okay. He wants billions, so yeah, he can't afford it. Damn it.
No.
Well, if he wants a quick sell, then he has to suck it up.
Yeah. I don't think even I don't think even he can afford to write off 1 billion.
Oh, unlucky there from Blackstilius.
Southampton scored.
West Ham fans will be fuming.
Antonio scored, funnily enough.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, looking now. James Ward.
It's not the start of his hot streak.
Well, he scored, and then 9 minutes later, Southampton scored from the penalty spot.
Oh, come on. We're being sloppy now. I know we've won the game, but let's keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, it's like that sort of overconfidence, like we're comfortable now. We don't need to sort of defend and do our best.
Our passing's not very good at the moment.
Yeah, surprise. Oh, Minamino got both goals, not Salah or anything. Minamino's got the goal to Liverpool.
It must be resting players against them, though, ain't they?
You'd think. Yeah.
Chamberlain's playing.
I'm just looking now. Alison's in goal. Milner, Kanote, Gomez. Yeah.
Who are they playing again? Liverpool? Can't remember.
Norwich.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, Milner, Kanote, Gomez, the Greek, I can't pronounce his name, the left back. So Milner's playing right back. Fucking hell. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Jordan Henderson, and Curtis Jones. Then Minamino, Ovigi, and Iota.
Mate. I bet Iota's not happy, mate. Like, they got a Luis in. He's not going to get
thinking, what the fuck?
That Jota is such a good player, honestly.
Oh, mate, I'd have him at Arsenal, mate. All day
I
long.
can't believe he's not like nailed on first choice ahead of Firmino now.
Right.
And
I bet he's gutted, mate. He literally single-handedly beat us at the Emirates and then didn't even start in the final.
Yeah.
I know. What does that guy actually have to do to get a regular first team place? I mean, every single time he plays, he performs and scores.
Like that Luis just walks in the door and he gets a spot in the final after you win the semi-final.
Yeah, not good.
That ain't a good look, is it?
No. And now he played like Kelleher in goal because he'd been the cup goalkeeper.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like you said, he's been a cup goalkeeper, mate. He weren't like he was doing a principal thing.
You'd like Jota would like, hello, I got you to the final.
Yeah, I'd be serious. I reckon he's seriously having a few thoughts about that, mate.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, it's like you say, Andrew, like, hello, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't be in this final. So,
I know. You're starting Kelleher, but you're not starting me. I'm actually
where's
even more important, the reason why you're here.
I was quite glad that Kepa missed the penalty because I don't think both them keepers were saving absolute anything.
It was just going on. It was literally like no one wanted to win it.
Mate, them goalkeepers weren't saving a thing, mate.
It was me, Andrew, and Russ were doing. Was on the stream doing a watch along for it. It was like, does anyone want to win this?
I know.
You got all this way to a final and no one wants to score.
I know.
3 minutes injury.
I think that Kelleher is a really good quality young goalkeeper, though, isn't he?
How old is he?
About 19, 20 or something.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Really good.
I'll tell you who made me laugh in that game. Is it Harvey Elliott?
Oh yeah.
Where he was trying to ruck people and all that. It's like, mate,
like headbutting their kneecaps, like.
Yeah.
I think they do it this year. I think they'll win. I still think they'll win the title with Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's going to go all the way, isn't it?
Yeah, it does seem like it. You think a few weeks ago, everyone and their mums was literally going, 12 points clear, City have walked it, here we go again. And now they're just going to blown it just like that. And they've got to play Liverpool in April after the international break.
Yeah, I mean, seriously though, you can't put it past them to win every single game between now and the end of the season, though, could you? I mean, they're that good. Anything can happen. That's why we love football, isn't it? At the end of the day, anything can happen.
It's going to be an unbelievable game. Man City, Liverpool at City.
Yeah.
Basically, who wins title, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's like a playoff. It's like an American playoff, isn't it? For the title.
That's
the only thing that worries me with City is that if they can't score in a game, then they ain't got that striker, have they?
Yeah, but they've got about 6 players every week on the pitch that score about 10 goals a season each.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They spread their goals out, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Anyone can score in that team.
No good doing.
Oh, lost the ball out of the ground.
I don't know what Sinsberger's doing there tonight.
She's a pretty quiet game, isn't she?
I love that about non-league football and that when balls end up in the car park and stuff.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
To be fair, I think, with all due respect, if Nikita was playing tonight, I think at least half of the balls in the stadium will be in the car parks. Shooting this season.
Good job, Thomas Partey. Playing.
His shooting was awful, isn't it?
He's going to bang one in 1 week, isn't he? I reckon before the end of the season, he's going to smash one in from like 25, 30 yards.
You watch it.
Hopefully it's against United or Tottenham.
Yeah.
And it'll be the goal that confirms our Champions League spot.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. I'd love that. Yeah, I mean, it'll literally take the roof off the house when everyone would go mad if that happened. Bang one in.
Come
I
off
mean,
anyway.
Tottenham's a great shout for it to happen. That'd be amazing.
No, it'd be brilliant, mate. Last minute.
Christ. There we go, full
That's it,
time.
all over.
Win 4-0. 5 points clear?
5. Yeah,
5 points
points
clear.
clear.
So yeah, Chelsea have to now win both their games in hand to go above us. There's no if or buts or maybes. They have to now.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
draw's not good enough for him.
nope. Because I'll
Who
go
are the next games?
superior. Chelsea, they've got the cup final on this weekend.
See that. Yeah, I see that.
I'm trying to think now. Let's have a look. We're playing Sunday, so let's have a look on Saturdays. If it lets me. That'd be great. In the meantime, I'll quickly go over to BBC One. What's the last few minutes of that while I'm looking for this? And my phone's just turned off. I think they've got Tottenham coming up as well. Chelsea have, like the women's team.
Wow, that's
why they're going to land.
Yeah, that's it. Because Chelsea, Tottenham are third at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going for trying to get Champions League for the next season, aren't they? And obviously, third spot is that last Champions League spot in women's football. So,
where do we play them? Is that the end of the month?
I think so. I think it's in the last weekend of this month. I think, yeah. I'll double check now.
That's at the Emirates, isn't it?
At the Emirates, in between the Wolfsburg tie.
That was a good ball, mate, for the keeper.
Have a look.
I mean, they ain't got a bad team out, fucking Chelsea, have they?
No, they went for. There's just a thing. They've gone full strength. You could tell they've gone full strength. When I switched over before half time, and it was like.
Yeah, I do like Reece James. I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
Arsenal's fixtures going forward are Birmingham City on Sunday for the men play. Got 3 minutes injury time at Luton Town. Then we've got Brighton on the 13th. It's 6:45 in the evening. Then obviously the FA Cup game against Coventry United in the quarterfinals. And then on 23rd of March, we've got Wolfsburg at the Emirates. That's the first leg. Then we've got Tottenham at the Emirates on the 26th. And then we've got the away leg to Wolfsburg on the 31st.
Is that 26th? Is that a Sunday?
I'm tweets now. 26th, yes. Saturday.
Ooh. Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Ah.
Quarter past 2 on a Saturday.
It's that weekend. It's going to be in London. I was hoping it would be Sunday, the game.
And then in April, we've got April 3rd away to Leicester. Then a potentially a semi-final against whoever gets the semi-final, basically, and that's on the 17th of April. If we get past Wolfsburg, semi-final first leg, on the 23rd, 24th of April. Everton away on the 20th. Well, hang on, how can that work out? Might have to rearrange that then because that's confusing. Might have to rearrange the Everton game then we get through because obviously you're saying April 23rd to 24th, semi-final first leg for the Champions League if we get that far. Obviously, so Everton will be rearranged then, and then we've got the second leg of that potential semi-final, and then we've got Villa as our last home game of the season on May 1st at 3:00. And then West Ham away, last game of the season against on Sunday the 8th, 12:30 kickoff. And potentially an FA Cup final on the 14th or 15th of May. And a potential final at Juventus Stadium for the Champions League final if we got that far on May 22nd.
I can't wait till May when the sun's shining and the weather's nice. I'm sick to death of all the cold wind and rain now.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it?
Yeah. He's talking about Reece James. He really reminds me of like a prime sort of young Micah Richards. I thought Micah Richards was just such a similar style of player with the same sort of build as well.
Yeah.
Loved him when he was younger, Michael Richards. I love him as a pundit now as well, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, he's quality, isn't he?
Yeah.
Go on.
But yeah, Reece James is a very, very similar style player.
Ah!
You slipped.
God.
Rolled offside anyway. That's it, mate.
Oh,
Ref's called
8
offside.
seconds left. Oh, he's offside, yeah.
The ref's called offside, yeah. Look, fair play to Luton. They've given them a game, yeah. Ref's called full time. He ain't allowing the free kick to be taken.
Yeah.
Chelsea scraped through by the skin of their teeth then.
We'll switch over to Liverpool now.
ITV, bloody hell. Someone helping throughout the whole stream.
Oh, yeah, you got that one, didn't you?
Is it 3-0 yet? Or is it still 2-0?
Oh, it's got to be in it.
Oh,
It's not nice.
it's adverts on my TV, so.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, dear. We are top of the league. I say we are top of the league.
It'd be lovely to win the league over Chelsea for the women, wouldn't it?
Especially with all the minds
Absolutely.
that Hayes has played from day one. That'll make it even better.
And
Yeah.
then pick them for third spot in the Premier League as well.
That'd be
amazing. Yeah, it'd be incredible.
I'd just be happy with full spot, to be fair.
And then the club get wound up in the courts. That'd be even better.
But yeah, the government take over and wind them up. Yeah, put them in the government. The government stop this takeover happening. Seize all his assets and put them into administration. Fantastic.
Go under government ownership.
Things you love to see.
And they start giving like YTS people jobs at the club instead of the highly paid managers and players.
Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson is the new manager of Chelsea Football Club.
Tom from down the road at the job centres, the new striker.
He's 30. He's 34. 6'2".
He's been out of work for 6 months, and he's got a bit of a limp. We can't afford to pay on the taxpayers' income. We can't afford to pay people like Lukaku anymore. They're out the door. So we've got an open day down the job centre on Saturday if anyone's interested in playing central midfield.
Oh dear.
I was looking at Luton Town Ground, proper old school, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've seen the scoreboard. It was like Hatters 2, Visitors 3.
Do you remember the old plastic pitch back in the day?
Oh, yeah, Jesus. They did, didn't they, back in the day?
And they beat us in the cup final, didn't they? And I was so sad. I remember being a bit tearful that day when I was younger. It was horrible. The Steen, Mark Steen, wasn't he? Or was it Brian Steen? One of them scored against us. Terrible day.
He must have felt dreadful after our Winterburn, mustn't he? Because that penalty would have basically put the game to bed, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And they scored 2 bloody late goals after that.
Yeah, I seem to remember it was about 86th or 88th minute or something, didn't they? They scored the winner.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Oh, it's horrible.
It was around the same time as well, weren't it? When didn't Coventry do Spurs in the final?
FA Cup final, yeah.
87, yeah. That was it 87?
87, that was.
Because that 87 was the year we won it, wasn't it?
League Cup.
86, 87.
League Cup. In the League Cup. And it was the year after. Was it the year after we lost to?
Yeah, year after.
To Luton. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? 88.
It's the first cup final I remember Arsenal being in, 86, 87.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I watched the FA Cup final in 80 when I was 7 years old. So it's the first one when I was like properly, yeah. It's the first one really when I was old enough to really know what was properly going on and everything was that it was cup final in 87 when we won it. And then I was, devastated the year after.
And then you was over the moon in 89.
Oh, mate, yeah. Cloud 9, it's unbelievable. Best feeling ever that was.
Oh, Harvey Elliott is coming on apparently.
Here he is.
Going to start a fight in the phone box. Again, old Harvey Elliott.
Well, Curtis Jones is going off. Okay.
He's just a funny guy, isn't he, this Harvey Elliott?
Yeah, he's like should be in Lord of the Rings or something, shouldn't he?
Wolf Sargent's coming on as well for United City.
I see it was Norwich Brentford this weekend. I think, God, that's an interesting one. That could put Brentford in the mire, that game.
Yeah, Brentford need to win that.
I don't think they will, mate. I really don't think they will.
Christian's playing from there. He's obviously came out the weekend. He could be.
Yeah, but Jay, you expect a lot from him, isn't they?
Could be the difference. So, yeah. I just don't want them to go down. Once, just because of how they play football as a neutral when Arsenal plays. Obviously, when they're not playing us and beating us on opening day, it's nice to watch them play.
Funnily enough, I've still got the laptop on over in the corner where I was watching the football initially, and Christian Eriksen's having an interview on there at the moment on BBC Three.
Has he?
Yeah. Talking about obviously everything that happened in the World Cup and that.
Yes.
World Cup, the Euros, I mean.
It's real surprising he's back playing football. Fair play to him, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so quickly as well after what happened.
Yeah, fair play to him, mate.
Well, yeah, it's fantastic. Great story. I hope he does well.
Oh, yeah.
Got back into it there.
I mean, I hated him when he was at Spurs, obviously, but he's a great footballer. I can say that now he's left Spurs.
Yeah, no, he's left. He's not part of them. We can ignore that ever happened.
He'll always be tainted, obviously. He's always going to have a smell about him, but he's a good player.
Oh, dear. But, yeah, do you want to carry on or do you want to wrap things up? Have you got plans or?
I'm watching this Liverpool Norwich now. If you want to carry on, I don't mind. If you're watching it.
Yeah, mate. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm not doing much, mate. I'm getting attacked. My feet are getting attacked at the moment by the kitten, but that's about it. She's literally got her claws right in my socks.
Oh,
Get out. Oh, it's going to ruin them.
oh, dear. Let's change the scoreboard then. Oh, dear, one sec. What happened yet?
Oh, yeah, just got a kick-off. Text about my son's semi-final. The kick-off's actually 2:15.
Oh, so 15 minutes.
You get 15 minutes to watch the game for then.
Yeah. I'll say I'm going to have it on my phone regardless, but I'll have to try and have one eye on my phone, one eye on the son's game. Go a bit cross-eyed for a little while.
People think you've got fucking Tourette's. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking like, that's random. I swear. Fuck.
What's that?
Yeah. I'm just saying, on Sunday, when the game kicks off with his son, there'll be times the parents around him will think he's got Tourette's because he's like, I swear at the phone randomly.
What do you do there?
I might even, to be fair, I might actually listen to the commentary so I can focus on my son's game, but then obviously properly. I'm getting the best of both then, aren't I? Rather than trying to watch it.
Sort of trying to multitask, not miss nothing.
Yeah, I think I'll listen to the Arsenal game and then watch it later and catch up.
Well, you know if anything goes wrong, the group chats are in will go mental.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Apart from the positive one.
If the worst happens, then I obviously won't bother watching it back. But
oh dear.
Plenty of times that's happened.
Yeah.
I know, especially against Watford.
Yeah, I'm not having it. This Watford ain't doing us.
No. I can't see it being like a 3 or 4-0. I think it
Nah.
might be like.
Literally one goal.
I'll be happy with the 1-0. Honestly, I'll be happy with the 1-0.
Yeah,
But,
take it. Like you said, take any kind of result at the moment, game by game.
Yeah, but I cannot see us losing. But stranger things have happened.
Speaking about old Oxlade Chambers, got to look for a move, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He didn't get on the bench, did he? On Sunday either. He's got to that point where he's not even. He's a squad player, but not first choice squad player either.
Do you know what? Right, I liked Chamberlain, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that
I
was
did.
good. That was a good 40 million in the end, wasn't it?
Works out for us in that sense. Yeah. Even in the away.
Oh.
Had a chance there. Had a chance there.
He scored.
That's what slated him.
I've always liked him. There was talk of us having him back in the last summer, wasn't there? And I wasn't against it.
Yeah.
The only thing that puts me off him a little bit now is obviously his injury record, but I still love him as a player. He would have been a good squad option. Even if he didn't start every week for us, I mean, it would have been great to have him in the squad again. But he just worries me about his injuries nowadays.
It's a massive shame. What's he really going to be remembered for, though? Oxlade Chamberlain? Probably not as much as he should have been.
No, I think he was a really good talent when he was younger, when we got him, 17, 18. He looked like he had the world at his feet, didn't he, at one stage? Very exciting player, but he's just never really properly kicked on. But I still think he's got a lot to offer a Premier League team. He deserves to play in a team that, a lot more regularly than he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he'd suit someone like Leicester down to the ground, especially if they sold Tielemans to us in the summer. It'd be a good option for them to replace Tielemans with, wouldn't they? A club like Leicester.
Well, yeah, he would be bad. But yeah, again, would they trust him to stay fit enough? That's the problem, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's it.
Because they always seem to buy well, don't they?
They do, yeah. But I wouldn't think that he cost the earth now. I mean...
Nah, what do you reckon, about 15 million?
Yeah.
You wouldn't pay no more than 15, would you?
No, I'd say, between 10 and 15 million, I think it'd be a good buy for someone. Take the risk. He was an England regular at one stage, wasn't he? Always in the England squad.
Yeah, before he left. As soon as he got that
Growing kit and Russ.
As soon as you got that injury, before that World Cup. Was it World Cup? Can't remember now. He's never. It's just then sort of hitting his stride at Liverpool, and then after that, he's just never been the same since.
No. But I mean, he was really good in the run up to their Champions League win not long ago at Liverpool as well. He played a big part, winning over a lot of the fans again at that point. Some good performances. I think he's just one of those players again now. He's not injured. He hasn't been injured for quite a while now, and he just needs to run in the team. But he's never going to get it week in, week out, is he? At Liverpool?
Not there, he ain't.
No. So if he played every week somewhere, he'd probably see the best of him again. But just ain't going to happen for him there.
Where do you reckon his best position is right now?
I think central midfield is like an 8. Oof.
Jesus.
God, played him for handball there.
And there's VAR in this. So.
Do you remember that performance against AC Milan that night? He was sensational, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really was.
Yeah.
I was gutted after that game.
Yeah, I know.
We got to bring him in that form, could we?
Ooh.
Now that's handball.
That's handball, isn't it? That was going in.
Is there VAR? There's VAR, isn't there?
It's a Premier League ground, so
Why has that not been given? That was going in the goal.
Mate.
It was literally going in the far post.
I just don't get the fucking
The thing is, I bet they're probably saying that because his arm was actually down by his side. It wasn't like out like that, was it?
Like a natural position, yeah.
Yeah, they're probably saying that's the reason. I mean, obviously, I got the sound down, so I don't know what they're saying, but I bet that's the reason why his arm was down by his side. But it's just, yeah, the handball rule is just ridiculous nowadays. They change it all the time, don't they? To me, that's just
the start of last season or the year before when every handball was a penalty.
yeah. That was just
It's stupid, didn't it?
absolutely nuts. That was, wasn't it?
Still not forgiving Mike Dean for the one he gave against Kieran Gibbs that time, mate. What's wrong?
Oh yes, yeah.
Fucking dreadful, wasn't it?
Oh, you're about the West Brom away. And Wenger went off on one afterwards.
New Year's Eve, wasn't it?
Yeah, New Year's Eve, yeah. It wasn't even a handball either.
It was never a handball, was it?
No. I had the worst handball with my Arsenal support, and that was the diving save at the FA Cup final at Liverpool. It was Sammy Hippier or Stefan Honcho. He literally dived across the goal and saved it with his hand, and we didn't get the pen.
All corner. It was goal kick.
It's interesting. You've seen that Henry interview about that cup final.
Yeah.
That he said that he took it so personally against Liverpool every game after.
Yes,
that cup final.
Yeah.
Fucking got robbed, mate, didn't we? It was like we had about 16 shots there, one after about 70 minutes. We battered them, didn't we? We absolutely battered them. It should have been about 4 or 5-0.
It still hurts me, that game. It really does.
That's 10 minutes, mate, and everything.
It really sort of cemented Michael Owen's reputation as the goal scorer of that game as well. And if we'd have won the game, which we should have done fair and square, then he wouldn't have got all that adulation at that point. It just absolutely drove me mad. They did not deserve to win that game.
No, it's the most one-sided FA Cup final I've ever watched at that time, and the best team lost somehow.
Yeah. But it was just a blatant cheating. Oh, that handball, I'll never get over that.
Oh, it was so one-sided. It was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And again, even back then, when Bloomberg eventually breaks to gets us in the lead and 1-0 up, I'm thinking, yes, finally, 15 minutes ago, we're gonna obviously do it, and then it's just I don't know what happened. We just fell apart in the last few minutes there.
Yeah, I know.
Then having to watch fucking Jamie Redknapp and Fowler in their suits and fuck off.
When we first went into lockdown, I started watching all the old school, like all the old games like that. And I watch it. I don't know if you ever watched it again. Did you ever watch the old? You know the one we beat Man United 2-0 in the FA Cup.
Oh,
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford, yeah.
Mate, that's got to be the most dirtiest first 10 minutes I've ever seen in a game of football, mate. There should have been at least 3 red cards, mate, in the first 10 minutes.
Oh no.
Like, you forget how brutal them games were.
Well, you watched that game, you know, the Van Nistelrooy game. Obviously, when they beat us, the 49th game, the injustice of that game as well throughout the whole match.
Disgraceful.
They should have had like 3 players sent off.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. They were kicking the shit out of us, and then obviously, the Wayne Rooney pen, and another massive injustice. And now that bloke is in charge of all the referees, Mike Riley.
Yeah. I know. It's unbelievable that he's still haunting us 20 odd years on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the biggest injustice, and he's still robbing us place.
He's a top dog in charge of it. And you wonder why the refs are overprotected the way they are.
But I mean, the tackles that during that game. I mean, obviously we were giving some out as well, but
we had to.
I know we had to protect ourselves, but we're just getting the shit kicked out of us. It's just unreal when you look back at what people were getting away with. But
so much.
You go back even further, like 70s and 80s, and it was even worse then as well. But yeah, I mean, in lots of ways, though, it's more fun back then, wasn't it? The way it used to be. It's a bit too soft nowadays. It's gone too far the other way.
Yeah,
Can't
Now
get
you
away
get
with
sent off two little tackles in the same.
it. Yeah, I know. I mean,
You know what I mean?
yeah, just rest your forehead on someone else's forehead, and it's a yellow card, isn't it?
just saying hello to someone she's booked. When Arsenal play anyway. But yeah, obviously after the aftermath of the Everton affair, yeah, and then on Monday morning, the PGMOL make a public apology to Everton. What good's that in the moment?
I know.
Doesn't give them the penalty though, does it?
I know. What about all our apologies? I mean,
Yeah, exactly. I'm still waiting.
I know it'd be like a fucking four-page document back and front, you know, with all the apologies for all the stuff that's gone on with us lately.
We never got an apology from him then. We're never going to get one from him now, are we?
No, exactly. Yeah, sorry about having your face stamped on, Mr. Tomiyasu.
Yeah, I just don't really get how he has the audacity to apologise. I know he would if it was a penalty, but you come out the woodworks, apologise about a penalty after you robbed us clean, mate.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. And even what was it?
Yeah.
New Year, the whole situation on New Year's Day with fucking Stuart Atwell, and we get fined.
Sorry for the massive volley right across your calf, Bukayo Saka. Apologies for that. No, not sending the player off.
Yeah, so sorry you didn't send him off and almost lost your leg, but that's how it's life.
Yeah, I hope you properly recover one day.
But yeah, Eddie gets a straight red. A couple of, was it just after lockdown? Got straight red because of VAR.
Yeah,
for near nothing basically compared to what we've seen had against us.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, fucking David Luiz, literally, his kneecap brushed the Wolves attacker's bloody studs. And the guy went flying. They got a pen, and he got straight red.
I know, and a pen. Yeah, got penalty and a straight red. It's nothing.
Southampton, same thing happens. Gets overturned by VAR.
Where is David Luiz now?
I think it's in Brazil now.
Benfica, didn't he? I thought he went to Benfica. But,
one or two, I don't know.
But I'm not sure. Actually, good question.
Yeah, we haven't missed him really, have we?
No. I mean, he certainly had his faults, and he was well past his best when we had him. But I did like him as a player, especially when he was younger. He played football
I just got that.
I know. That was a bad miss.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's bloody hell.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think he won the FA Cup with us, didn't he?
Yeah. He played his big part in that, to be fair, actually.
Yeah.
He was in good form at that point, wasn't he?
Even the semi-final. Was he in the semi-final? Or did he play in the semi-final? He did, didn't he?
Yeah,
He was solid. He was quality in the semi-final.
He was actually solid during that whole of that running, really, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Throughout the whole run, and sort of when our form picked up towards the end of the season in the league as well. I think he actually had a good run at that point. But yeah, he certainly had his faults. But I like the way he plays football. You know, he plays football because he loves football. You can tell that. But yeah,
he had that good trait. He could really thread a ball through as well, couldn't he?
Yeah. But like you said, you know, we've certainly not missed him now, and our defence has never looked better for many years. Our defence has never looked better.
No, yeah, I'm well happy about defence at the moment. It's going to get better, like we said earlier on.
Yeah, can't wait to see Saliba join that back line.
Gives us that good option to be able to go free at the back with three really good centre forward. Not Rob Holding as well. I think quality is a three in the back, but
yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know how Norwich are not more than 2-0 down the way things are going.
The way they're defending, they should concede a lot more. But they've had chances as well in the second half, but it just ain't taken them.
They just bore me, Norwich. It's just like, I don't know how they come up and down, come down and come up and come down. Fair play to them doing it, because they really don't spend nothing, do they?
No.
It's almost the best thing that could happen to them when you're a club like Norwich. Because they've got like at least one season they're out of every two when they're really challenging for the title.
Yeah.
That's not the top of the
It can't get much better because they're always going to get the Premier League money because the season they go down, they've also got the parachute payment. And then, they're winning every week and challenging for the title because they always seem to win the title when they come back up, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's saying something then if you think about it. That even Norwich have won more than Tottenham in the last 15, 14 years.
The thing is, right, I think they done well getting Dean Smith as well because he knows that Championship inside out as well. So when they do go back down, he knows totally what's expected, don't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it must be half decent being a Norwich fan if you think of it that way.
Yeah.
Always
have a good pick up once every 2 years, don't you?
I'd literally rather do that than be a Burnley, like for example, or a team that finishes 15th in the Premier League every season, or between 12th and 15th, because you've got literally nothing to ever play for apart from staying in the league.
Yeah.
But at least if you go up and down, like West Brom and Norwich, you've got a bit of excitement, because you've got a chance of winning the league every other year.
I don't know about West Brom anymore. I've got Steve Bruce in charge. I don't know about the excitement with West Brom.
Well, yeah, to be fair. I mean, yeah, I could have
lose last night as well, 2-0 to Swansea.
I
could have said Fulham, didn't I?
Yeah.
Whose bright idea was that? Sacking the old manager, bringing in Steve Bruce.
Well, he's got a good track record of getting teams out of the Championship, though, hasn't he?
It has been a few years, though, since it's been at that level.
Yeah.
After how the Newcastle thing fell apart, I was surprised he came back so quickly.
Well, he needs to complete the set of teams in the Midlands that he's managed. So
you've got the Trinity, hasn't he? Yet the main Trinity, West Brom, Birmingham City. Bloody hell!
Just needs Wolves now.
He just needs to go back up north and manage Middlesbrough at some point. Okay, now the guy has no loyalty, does he? If you think about it, he has no loyalty to his.
Well, I don't. To be honest, I mean, when you're a manager, you can't blame them really because there's no loyalty to them from the other side, is there? They win, but they lose 5 games on a trot, they get sacked. So I don't blame him really.
So the Mane's warming up.
Yeah.
That's the mentality, everyone. Liverpool winning 2-0 in an FA Cup match after winning the League Cup a few days before. And when their main men is warming up to come on. And they're playing Norwich with that.
I absolutely loathe and despise Sadio Mane.
Gets away so much he does. Fucking hell.
Oh, yeah, he's always the fucking...
teeny the elbow early on season against Chelsea. Got away with it in the first 10 seconds.
It's such a cheat. It's unbelievable. And the way he dives as well. Oof. Lucky. That was nearly scored again.
No, Colonel. He's talking about it from a Norwich perspective, and with what Norwich are as a club. He's saying that their fan base, because of obviously the up down. He's saying they should much rather go up and down than actually win something in between, than be a Burnley that just comes up and sort of stagnates and stinks the place out. And there's nothing to really go for a few years.
Yeah, no. I mean, if I'd rather, in some ways, do that than just be always like a Burnley in 12th to sort of 15th in the league.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything worse than being a Burnley fan. Do you?
No. I'd be awful. I mean, at least Arsenal now we've finally pulled our socks up and got our recruitment in order and the back stuff and all. We've got more chance now of at least qualifying for Champions League and hopefully in the season or two actually mounting a bit more of a title challenge again. But I'm not saying I'd rather Arsenal do that because at least we've got the chance of European competition every season most of the time. So I'm not saying that about Arsenal, of course not, Colonel. But if you do think about it, I mean, at least Norwich fans do get some excitement every other year.
Yeah. Always one good party every 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
A few sore heads every 2 years, yeah.
But they're always going to be the richest team in the Championship because they come up for get all the Premier League money, take it back down with them, then get the parachute payment as well.
Yeah.
Then go back up again, then get a load more Premier League money, come back down. They'll be able to slowly start building their team into something a lot more better by doing that.
Eventually become that club that actually stays in Premier League, but actually builds on something other than just being a mid-table that will, like Burnley are.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, we'll talk about Watford. If Watford go down, I don't see them coming back up for a while because the ownership is just too trigger happy with that fucking trigger. Literally, you lose one game, you're sacked.
Well, who's going to be manager there next year as well? Do you know what I mean? They've got to get a manager, haven't they?
Yeah.
Surely it can't be Roy next year.
They're going to run out of managers to actually go for at some point. I mean, everyone's going to have been the Watford manager.
I think he'll get called in the summer.
He just can't stop himself.
They're going to have to start going through the same candidates again.
He just can't stop himself, old Roy Hodgson, though, can he? Jesus, I'm like, mate, enjoy your retirement. He was 74.
Yeah.
His missus must say, just want him out the house.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Must be that fucking, just show about football, go away.
He looks really old as well, don't he?
Yeah.
There's nothing worth. I mean, on the sidelines, when Roy Hodgson, he's got his angry face on. It's like, it looks so funny. It makes me laugh every time. He puts this facial expression on when he's angry. It's like, I don't know. It's funny.
Does he really care over there, though? Surely.
God, no.
He's just, it's a strange one, I think, on all accounts. Like, I get why they've done it to try and keep him up.
Yeah. I bet he's on a massive bonus if he keeps him up.
Surely it's his last job.
It's got to be. With all due respect.
I don't know, though.
He watched over Tottenham in the summer. Or Chelsea. I think he's be able to afford the best soon enough.
Tell you what, Chelsea's going to be interesting over the next year or so, though, isn't it, really?
Very.
The first 12 months of that, whoever comes in, that first 12 months is going to indicate what sort of owner they really are. But they're the same as Roman, or they're just like, you're just another plaything, basically.
Do you know what, though? It was when you said that how much debt they're in as well. It's just disgraceful, really, isn't it?
150 million pound in debt to the guy that owns them.
Like, it's bad, isn't it? It's really so bad.
And you got I've heard the Chelsea fans come out and say, "But we're self-sustaining now. We don't need his money." Well, you don't need his money, but you're in debt to him. That makes sense. Yeah.
If he called his debts in, the club could be wound up.
Yeah.
1.5 billion pound in debt. They ain't got 1.5 billion pound. Where are they going to get that from if he calls his debts in? That's what they've got to sell within the next few days. They're under a lot of pressure to sell within the next few days because before his assets gets frozen.
It's not a great situation to be in, having to rush that through, is it?
No, and he'll sell to wherever. He's not going to go through a due diligence process, is he? And say, I want it to go to the right person. He's got no choice. He'll sell it to whoever. And as long as they pass the fit and proper persons test, job
Well, the
done.
Premier League side of things, yeah. Then saying that means nothing to the Premier League, let's be honest.
No. So he will literally sell to the first people that come up with the money that he will accept. So
I mean, it's, as you say, it's saying something as well. When it's a consortium that's being the head runners for this, it's not like one individual person's coming forward with the money. Again, one of them was, what was it? You say it was an American sport franchise out there. So, fucking the history of owners that own American franchises doesn't bode well for Chelsea. Put it that way.
Mm.
I'm always a bit weary about consortiums.
Yeah.
Me too.
For God's sake, Norwich.
Yeah, like I said earlier, from what I read, consulting with 6 people, but there was only 2 people spoken about, and it was the Swiss guy, the 83-year-old, and an owner, an American owner of a big sports franchise over there. They were the main 2, both billionaires.
Also, with the guy with his age and all that, if this was to happen, if he passes, what happens to his shares then with the rest of the consortium? Assuming he hasn't got family, like
I'd imagine that'd be, I imagine it'd be thought about.
Oh, here we go. They waste it again, Norwich.
Oh, what a goal!
2-1. There you go.
Oh,
Back up.
Jesus, mate. There you go.
We've got a cup tie, everyone. 14 minutes to
Come
go.
back on, boys.
What a finish that was!
Goal.
He didn't even celebrate, did he? That's cool.
No, he was just like, yeah, we scored. Come on.
Yeah, whatever. I usually do this for fun.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, good goal. To be fair, it was quite central in the goal, actually. I've been wondering whether the goalkeeper could have done better there.
Yeah, his position was a bit off there from Allison.
It wasn't as far into the corner as I first thought, but
yeah,
don't take anything away from the shot. It was a decent shot. He's going off now.
Yeah, done my job.
West Ham lost.
They lost.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh. There's another year no trophy then for West Ham. That's what was it 40, 50 years since they won 1980 was the last time they won the FA Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's the last time that's the last time they won a trophy in general. Fucking hell.
My first ever Arsenal game, like I said, that I watched.
Oh dear.
The last time they won a trophy when I was 7 years old, and that's saying something. I'm fucking old fucker.
Oh dear. Again, this was a good opportunity for West Ham. I know we've got
it was a great opportunity for West Ham.
I mean, even though you've got City and you've got Liverpool, Chelsea, and all that still in the cup, still, this was a perfect sort of thing for them to have a crack at. I mean, they've still got the Europa League, but it's going to be a tough one, a tough draw as well. West Ham. It's not an easy one, trust me. It's only the team that's hosting the cup final.
Oh yeah.
So suddenly it's like, is everything going to be based on their league form now for European football?
Well, he's used like the least amount of players out of any team in the Premier League, isn't he, David Moyes? So he really, really pushes his players to the maximum limit with what he asks from them. It's highly doubtful that they're not going to run out of steam at some point.
Gary saying in the chat, there was a time when I walked away from 1.5 billion and I woke up down $1.50. Oh dear.
No, I'm not quite that old yet, old Colonel.
Oh, Liverpool on the attack. Oh, it slipped, Jota.
They've got to score again soon, surely.
really will put the cat.
Atkinson ref in it. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really going to put the cat amongst the pigeons if Norwich can manage to get another one.
That's why that handball won't give him because Atkinson was ref in it.
Yeah, sounds about right. They've got VAR, so I don't know who's in charge of VAR in this game.
That don't mean much, does it? Probably Kevin Friend or something like that.
Yeah, Kevin ain't Arsenal's friend. None of them are they?
Nah. I used to think Atwell was all right till Sunday, until Man City.
Oh, I mean, what a dreadful decision that was.
I have no idea how he got that cup final on Sunday, though.
God knows.
I mean, I think I was saying on Sunday, I think it says it all about the standard, the way the referees are nowadays, the standard-wise, is, I say, the cup final referee literally is a once in a blue moon. You either got the League Cup final, or the FA Cup final, as a one-off. Basically, nowadays it's literally the same. You get what was it? 2017 final. Was it Taylor?
Oh, Mike Dean's fourth official.
Mike Dean's
Can it be worse? Martin Atkinson referee with Mike Dean fourth official.
Not really. First Atwell upstairs in the VA album. We got the fucking full set.
I've got to find out who's on VAR now for this game.
Just for that.
I wonder if you can find out. Let's see. Shut up.
Don't tell me.
Do you have a VAR, an assistant VAR?
Oh my God, behave themselves.
They do. They have a VAR and assistant VAR.
Why do you need an assistant VAR? It's just a joke. It's much better when there was just one person making the decisions instead of 4 or 5. It's just absolutely
on the top here, I don't know if it's the Norwich Liverpool game, but it says VAR Stuart Atwell, assistant Gary Beswick. But I don't know if that's what. I don't know if it's for that game.
Oh my God, imagine.
But you've actually got an assistant VAR. Really?
Yeah, that bad. You need an assistant over on one game.
Fucking hell, mate.
The Premier League, ladies and gentlemen.
Mate, if it is Mike Dean, Martin Atkinson, and Stuart Atwell, that's fucking brilliant. Who would you say? Right, here's a question for you both. Best referee in the Premier League over the last 20 years?
God.
I can't name one. I honestly don't know. There's always something linked to someone.
Yeah.
I'm actually struggling myself, to be fair. I'm actually struggling myself.
They're all the same, aren't they? They're like politicians. There ain't no good ones.
I'm going to Google and see if everyone's voted.
Here we go. Yotta's going off.
They're bringing on Mane and Diaz.
Yeah. Like you arseholes, you couldn't finish the game against Norwich. Origi's going off. There you go then.
Right. I can't believe, right? This is incredible that Martin Atkinson's rated in the top 10 greatest Premier League referees.
Who fucking took the poll? Mike Ryan.
Mate, listen to it. Pardon?
Who was gone to the bother of doing a list of 10 best?
Mate, here's 10 to 1. 10 marking and Martin Atkinson. 9 Mark Owsley. 8 Peter Walton.
Peter Walton? I can't stand that bloke.
They get better, mate. 7 Dermot Gallagher. 6 Graham Pole.
Oh my God! Norwich, he should have scored.
5th place, Mike Riley. Who the fuck voted in 5th place?
Oh my
This
God!
is the Mike Riley poll.
4th, Martin Clattenburg. 3rd, Michael Oliver. 2nd, Mike Dean. 1st, Howard Webb.
Oh, God.
Do you know what? If I had to choose one, I would probably say Clattenburg.
I was going to say, I think he was still a fucking.
Oh, they were all. They've all got feet.
He shit over Crystal Palace and that. Do you remember that cup final with Man United when they should have sent that player off? And he was all fucking sitting there, red nose, Ferguson before the game. Nah, mate.
They've all got something about them. I mean, that's what I did choose one in the first place. But there's always something you can point to with all of them.
There's just not one there, is there, really?
No.
Graham Poles has lost the plot after the World Cup in 2006 after his 3 yellow card incident. He just lost the plot.
Howard Webb was Manchester United's 12th player, weren't he?
Yeah.
So that was clearly a Man United fan. If Howard Webb's number 1, it's a Man United fan who's done that poll.
And Peter Walton, fucking hell, mate.
I mean, they use him on BT Sport, and he's the worst thing that they could have. Absolutely dreadful on BT.
Even the ex-players can't stand him.
I know.
They literally had an argument after the first Wolves game away when we played them away. I got over to Martin anything. The three players, so it's Ferdinand, Savage, and Owen, wasn't it? They all sat there literally having a go at Walton, like, why are you protecting? You're basically calling them out, like you're making the rules up as you go along. Then
I know. Whenever they go to him about any kind of decision, he'll always back up the referee.
Yeah,
always. You'll never say the referee's got it wrong. Completely pointless having him on there.
Here we go. Even in this list, right? Mike Riley, but they put his biggest moment might have been the clash between Man United and Arsenal in 2004. However, which saw the Gunners' unbeaten streak come to an end.
Dreadful performance. Worst refereeing performance. Bar none.
Mate.
Bar none.
There's no one that comes close, is there?
No.
He should have literally, if he was in any other job and he did his job that badly, he would have been sacked.
He wouldn't have then gone on. And again, any other company in any other walk of life wouldn't then go and give him once he retires from that role. He wants to off his job. Oh, we'll give you the top job.
Put him in charge of everyone. I know, absolutely ridiculous.
I reckon you're right, guys. I think Clattenburg's probably the best one out of a lot of them.
Yeah.
He is. He's best of the bad bunch. But, but he's got loads of stuff I'm sure everyone can point to. But
Chelsea
he's probably
fans
the best of the bad bunch for me.
Yeah, I think looking at this list.
He used to be the representative to go to the World Cups and that as well, didn't he?
Dermot Gallagher wasn't a bad ref, though, was he?
Yeah, these moments.
Yeah, so he's up there as well, probably. But I can't believe we're even rating these guys. I mean, honestly, the whole point of a ref is you shouldn't notice them at all. You shouldn't even know their names. Why do you need to know their names? I mean, they should be there and they should be unrecognisable on the pitch. Just do their job. They shouldn't be celebrities. I couldn't care less about them, to be honest. But it's only because they're so bad. And they're just giving Arsenal nothing at the moment. Or he's giving them a time of day. But I just wish we didn't. I just wish we didn't even have to mention them at all. I mean, these refs that get their name embroidered on their boots, I mean, they can just go fuck themselves as far as I'm concerned. I mean, what's that all about? They're considering themselves equal to the players on the pitch, like celebrity-wise. It's just a joke.
Well, I think was it Ben Foster? He did again. One of these early podcasts this season, he was talking about the opening game of the season. I think it was Watford versus Villa, and I think Watford won. I don't know what it was now, but the first goal they scored in that game of the ref, Mike Dean was a ref as well, and obviously there was a foul in the build-up. He waved play on, Watford go on to score, and he's basically running back, and he goes and talks to Tom Cleverley's ear and goes, Assist to Mike Dean, get in there. Like he's literally he thinks he's the main guy basically. Like he's one of them.
I know. Yeah, I mean, he's the one that really is tops them all with regards to that, doesn't he? He wants to be a part of the game. He wants to be, doing all the, the big talking point. He wants to be the centre of attention. Mike Dean all the time. He's dreadful.
Carol's asking who's the ref on the front cover of the red card game. He was good. You want to Colleen? His name.
Yeah, Luigi Collina.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he took that shit.
he's the best that I've known.
He was a great referee, wasn't
He put up with no shit.
Yeah, no matter
he? You
what.
wouldn't give him shit either, though, would you?
He should be in charge. He should be in charge of all the Premier League refs.
Yeah,
because he was the best in the world, and the Premier League, like I said to you before, deserves the best referees in the world, regardless of where they come from.
yeah.
So to have that and to completely reorganise the training of these refs and leave them accountable, he should be in charge of them all because he was the best.
What do you reckon about having like referees from different countries and all that?
I've been saying this for ages. The best league in the world deserves the best referees in the world. Why have we got the best players in the world and the best managers in the world, but we haven't got the best referees in the world? So it doesn't matter where they come from. We should get them. We should pay them a lot more money and attract the best referees from all four corners of the globe. I totally believe that, and that will put an end to a lot of the local biases as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they should all be mic'd up so we can hear them as well.
Like they do in rugby, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
We should be able to hear them talking to the VAR and generally them talking to the players and everything doing the rugby, because it also put out an end overnight to all the players swearing at the refs in front of them.
Have you seen that clip between you would have seen it, the Millwall Arsenal one with Tony Adams?
Yeah, brilliant.
You crap bastard.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Arsenal forgot to tell him. They've got to tell him, didn't they?
Yeah, that they're mic'd up. But it put an end. If players knew that they were going to be recorded, it would put an end to all the dissent.
It would put an end to it. Yeah, it would put an end to it, definitely. You had to watch yourself a lot more, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And the thing is, if you're watching it on telly, you don't have to listen to the referee throughout the whole game.
No.
But when they do the replays for goals and incidents during the match, they could do the replay and they could actually play that bit of audio then. So you can hear what was said at that point.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I've been watching the Six Nations. I've been watching Aussie rugby for years now. Whenever the game gets stopped for either a checking of a foul or anything illegal or possible try being given, that's when the audio between the video ref and the referee comes into play, and also the assistants come over as well. So they have a discussion. Everyone hears each other. There's no miscommunication. So you can't say, "Oh well, actually this and that and the other." And then also with rugby, it's the ref saying, "Well, does my on-field decision stand, or do I need to do this? Is this the way to address it, or what?" Basically, so everyone's singing on the same hymn sheet, but the ref has a final word.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of sports are doing it now. Even like the F1, you can hear the pit crew talking to the driver and all that now as well, can't you? I mean, all the technology's there, clearly. I mean, obviously, it's been there for years. So why they don't use that, I don't know. But they're covering themselves. The referees won't do it voluntarily. They need to be told that you're going to have to be mic'd up from now on. The fact that they govern themselves, it's not really run by the Premier League or even FIFA or UEFA or whatever. It's ridiculous. They don't answer to anyone but themselves, the PGMOL, do they?
No.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
And guess who's on that? Guess who's on that payroll? The PGMOL, Dermot Gallagher and fucking Peter Wharton, who are employed by Sky to give an opinion.
Yeah,
You
totally unbiased.
People seen the flaw in the system.
Well, that was nice by Harvey Elliott.
I think that's it. Yeah.
I think they've done all right to be better Norwich in the end.
It wasn't a battle in the end, right?
Still going now, isn't it? There you go.
Through, final whistle's gone.
They had a couple more chances as well. They didn't take.
Yeah.
A bit of a cup final hangover from Liverpool there, from what I saw in the second half. It wasn't really they had chances, don't get me wrong and all that, but it wasn't their fluent best. They had to bring on Mane and that new lad, Diaz.
Yeah.
I mean, Mina got player of the match as well, apparently. According to the ITV, I ain't got sound on, but yeah, came up and got player of the match. Because effectively, he scored the winning goal, effectively. But yeah, so the only upset so far is that they're not down the road.
Obviously.
Jamie
They
Hart.
go, don't they?
So one says it's been a good couple of days really. Chelsea lost in the final. Chelsea about to be sold, and everything's about to go back to square one for them, not back to the good old days. Tottenham got knocked out, and they've continued their allergic reaction to trophies. I mean, again, I'm 32. I'm going on 33, and Tottenham have won one FA Cup and 2 League Cups in my lifetime. That's a big club apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive club.
Yeah. Yet Leicester City and Norwich respectively have won more recently. So what does that say?
I saw it on someone put it on Twitter that the BBC after the cup game yesterday was saying that they're going through Tottenham's lack of trophies and all that sort of stuff. And one of them, like the pundits, said, "Well, they really should have won the league in 2016." Completely forgetting the fact that Arsenal actually finished second that year.
Yeah.
I'm still confused where they should have won the league that year.
I know. They came third. They came in a 2-horse race. They came third, didn't they?
They come first.
Unbelievable.
They got battered on the last day of the season to a team that had just been relegated.
And we're down to 10 men for half a game as well.
Yeah.
5-1.
Yeah, they could have won the league.
No, they still should have won the league that year. But I mean, they completely forgot about Arsenal's existence when they were talking about that, in that conversation. Then that they actually finished above Spurs that year. So, but anyway, they're the gift that keeps on giving, aren't they?
Hope they keep on giving as well.
That and Jamie O'Hara and his little meltdowns.
Oh, he's a plonker, isn't he?
How is he employed by anyone to give his opinion? I just honestly don't know.
Oh dear, don't.
He's getting paid. He's actually getting paid to do what he does by talk sport.
Fucking what was it? Laura Woods this morning. There's a clip going around on social media. Laura Woods basically listing every sort of jobs he's had in her life since Tottenham last won the trophy.
I like the one about Arteta saying everything that he's done as well.
He won the FA Cup with Arsenal as a player, retired, went to City, came back a few years later, won the FA Cup as a manager.
Won the FA Cup. Completely retrained. It's just brilliant, though, isn't it?
Oh dear,
I just love it.
Got to laugh, yeah. Colonel saying Arsenal were also top that season until February. Yeah, literally, it was literally after that Leicester game. We beat them 2-1. We think that's it. That's the moment we're going to go on and kick on and push on for the title. 2 days later, Swansea game in hand. We lose 2. Was it 2-1 or 1-0? We lost that game. Swansea.
Well, it's
then
just
we go to Old Trafford, play the kids, and get beaten 3-2.
Yeah, but we openly admit that we collapsed after that.
Yeah.
But we still finished above Spurs.
Somehow.
We had a terrible run. We collapsed. We admit all that. Tottenham don't. Tottenham don't admit that sort of stuff, but we do. But we still finished above them. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
What I'm going to find funny is because potentially St. Tottenham's coming back this season. We finished above him for 20 odd years. we've had them 4 years. They've still won fuck all.
I know. That was
These
the
were-
greatest period in their history.
Yeah.
Because
And
they
we won
finished
2
so well.
cups in that time.
We've got
Brilliant.
we still win the cups.
We won 2 cups.
Yeah, they're in their greatest period in their history, Spurs. Of recent history, I'll give them that. Greatest period of the recent history under their best manager that they sacked. Yeah, we've still won 2 cups. It's amazing.
And
Like
yet
they're out of the Champions League final within the first minute.
the first attack,
Game was over in the first minute.
first attack, boom, dead. Yes.
Oh fuck! I put on the Twitter last night. I bet all Spurs players hate being Spurs players, especially like after a night like last night, like one of many, obviously, but last night they just think, what are we doing here at this club, wasting our time because we're never going to win anything here. It's so embarrassing all the time being the Spurs player because whenever the push comes to shove, we collapse. We become Spursy.
He's like Harry Kane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like held hostage.
They must hate
Held
it.
hostage.
They must have felt like everyone was laughing at them last night because they were. Everyone was laughing at them, but they obviously know that.
They must know they're called Spursy and everything as well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was saying to brother, it was earlier on. It's just typical of Man City. They go to Man City, not Tottenham. They go to Man City, beat Man City, then lose against Burnley, then thump Leeds, and then get knocked out by Borough. And they went full strength as well. It's like it's typical of them.
do you know the best thing I
in and
see
out.
last night? I said I was looking up a few things, just throw it at my Tottenham mates. And Spursy got put in the actual English dictionary in 2016. It's actually a word. Spursy is actually an official word in the English dictionary.
Oh, amazing.
Talking about
Didn't know
Tottenham, 2016 and all. Horse race.
That was obviously the rant that Jamie O'Hara twat did last night, didn't he? What you just said, Ryan, about how can you fucking go to like Man City? They went through the last 4 and the other guy, Jason Cundy, the other twat, said, "Well, because you're Tottenham." That's why the word Spursy was invented.
It did piss it. Well, I did a little bit of it. Goes, yeah, last time we won a League Cup, I was there. Oh, fuck off, mate. It's a League Cup.
Yeah.
Right. They haven't won a major trophy for 31 years. Is it 31 years?
Yeah, 91.
Yeah, 31, 1990. 31 years, mate. 32 years now. 32 years. You've not won a major trophy.
I know. I mean, so anyone under that age has never seen Spurs win anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, I see it, but
apparently they're a Big Six club. Apparently, they dared put themselves in the Super League chat.
I know.
Daniel Levy at the wheel.
I bet they put out all the DVDs after the Man City match.
Mm-hmm.
For that game, and then they go and reach the Burnley straight after. DVDs go straight in the bin. It's just unbelievable,
It is incredible that they do Man City twice, but like you said, go and lose to Burnley, go and lose to Borough. You know what I mean? And I know we got beaten by Forest, but we had a shocking team out that day. We had like a really, really weak team out that day.
Exactly.
You went out there last night with your best team virtually.
Yeah, exactly, and run all their best play. Like Kane and Son did another 120 minutes last night.
Yeah. And he's got 0 reward for it. And he's an interesting one, isn't he? That Son. I reckon he's a bit of a bad egg in that ground a little bit. I don't know, something about him.
I love his face when things aren't going his way.
No.
It just cracks me up. There's a guy
Quite often they're not going his way, mate.
Yeah, no, I was chatting with a guy on Twitter. He put it up saying, absolutely love watching Son when things aren't going his way. His facial expressions crack me up, and I was having a little conversation because I couldn't agree more. He really annoys me, that guy. Everyone goes mad about him. Oh, he's such a lovely guy. Blah blah blah.
He ain't a lovely guy.
No, he ain't.
We did Gomez for Everton.
Broke his
Yeah,
up there.
dreadful. And then he goes, oh, all the tears come out. It's not. I'm not that type of player, Gov. Oh, he's an arsehole. I can't stand him. But when his face just drops, like when he misses a shot or something like that, and they're under the cosh, and it's a picture. I love it. It's one of those things that gives me joy, seeing him suffer.
Surely Kane's got to go this summer, though. Surely.
Who's going to take him? Because Man City have got a striker coming in, haven't they?
I can see a club like Newcastle going for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hope they.
They love an English number 9, don't they? Let's be honest, they love an.
I hope he rots at the Armitage Shanks Arena for the rest of his career. He's 30 next year, isn't he? 30 next season.
Well, he's got to go this year, mate. If he's serious about trying to win something with someone, surely he's can't. I think he's got to have a gentleman agreement. He's got to have a gentleman agreement to leave at the end of the season or something.
You know what Levy's like. If you don't get the money he wants, he ain't going nowhere. And he will still try and hold out for 100 million. You know exactly what he's like. That Daniel Levy.
Problem is, though, he don't want to be at the club, does he? And it shows.
He don't want to be at the club all this season, but they still kept him.
Yeah.
Well, I can't even remember him. How many goals he scored in the Premier League this year? Really, honestly.
I think it's like a handful. Not a lot.
That's dreadful when you think about it.
He was virtually on strike the first part of this season, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He scored. I mean, how long did he go before he scored? I mean, months.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a look at this. Honestly, it was till about November, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was unbelievable.
It's so bad, really, when you think about it. Like, they're not really going to get the money for him, aren't they? That they would have wanted last year.
Gary wants him to stay at Tottenham.
Yeah, I do.
Gary says 5 goals, he thinks.
Oh, he scored 8 goals in the Premier League this year.
8. So that's less than Emile Smith Rowe.
Yeah. 4 in the Conference League. Now, let's be honest, he shouldn't even be playing in the Conference League. Why do you need to be playing Harry Kane in the fucking Conference League?
Did you see that expressions oozing after that game? And the way that he was describing that Europa Conference League cracked me up. He said, we're playing against a load of fucking painters and decorators, aerial installers, like all that sort of stuff. And we got beat. Right, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Was it NS Mura? Was it NS Mura?
Yeah. And, and those teams like Twitter accounts, like bantering them, like shagging the cockerel up the arse and stuff like that. With their mascot, it's just priceless. You can't.
He's basically scoring 1 every 3 games in the Premier League.
Yeah, but and apart from his current good run of form, he had scored nothing for months, didn't he?
Yeah.
Honestly, the most of those goals have come recently.
Yeah.
So
well, here we go. He scored 1 goal in the Premier League up till the 19th of December.
He was literally. I rest my case. Yeah. He was literally on strike the first part of the season.
And do you know that was against Newcastle, who were bottom of the league at the time, weren't they?
Yeah, that's with Steve Bruce's last game. Yeah.
But yeah, to be fair, it's picked up a little bit. But...
So basically, Spurs have ended the careers of Steve Bruce at Newcastle and Marcelo Bielsa because they couldn't take the shame of being beaten by Spurs.
Yeah, basically.
So they sacked their manager.
Losing to Spurs at home loses you your job.
Like a war thing.
I was going to say I've been interested to beat anyone else, but then they did beat Man City, didn't they?
Yeah.
But that's probably about it, to be fair. Oh, they won at Watford, didn't they? Do you remember they got that 96th minute at Watford?
Oh, yeah, that killed them. That win against Leicester. How lucky was that?
Like Man City, Leicester and Wolves, they literally got out of jail, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Watford, sorry.
I mean, they scored 2 in extra time, added time, didn't they, against Leicester?
Oh, that's all that was, wasn't it?
So there's 3 points they shouldn't have. and that Wolves, like you said, they shouldn't have those 3 points either. So without those 6 points, where the hell would they be in the league? I mean, I think they're 8th at the minute. I think they're 8th.
Yeah, 8th in the league.
Where the hell would they be
6
without those
points.
6 points?
I think they're 6 points. I think they're 3 or 6 points behind us. I think.
I mean, I wonder how many points they are ahead of Everton. Let's have a look.
Tell you what I will be interested about as well is their next few games because they got Everton at home, and I don't think Everton at home is going to be an easy game for them.
Well, Everton at home or Everton are away team?
No, they got Everton at the shithole.
Shithole, okay. Well, Everton got something to fight for, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think that's going to be an easy game whatsoever. And then I look at the next games. Listen to the core, mate. Man United, Tottenham the week after.
That could do us a favour.
As it goes, I think I'd rather Man United won that and just totally because I think Man United have got these games against Man City and Liverpool. They're gonna, well, hopefully. I think I'd rather Man United win that and just knock Tottenham totally out of it. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Could do us a favour there, massively.
Because we've got to go Tottenham away, but we've got Man United at home. So
the draw. I mean, I don't want Spurs to win any game, obviously, ever.
Yeah,
a draw would be good. But I mean, I can't believe this. So this shows you how bad Everton are because Tottenham are 20 points ahead of Everton. 20. Yeah. 20 points. I mean, they've got a game. They played a game less, Everton, but that is shocking. Absolutely shocking. But 6 points. I mean, yeah, but it's only, funnily enough, those 6 points that they shouldn't have only puts them down a couple of positions in the table. It puts them down to about 9th. Yeah, 9th. So,
yeah. They're 3 ahead of us, but we've got a game in hand.
What? United?
Tottenham.
Yeah, we're 3 ahead of Tottenham then, and we've got a game in hand.
Yeah, 3 ahead of them.
We're 3 ahead of them with a game in hand, yeah. We are, 2 points behind United with 3 games in hand.
And West Ham.
And West Ham, yeah. Really, such a good position. I don't want to get too carried away.
What we should need to do is win our next 2 games and see what happens around us after them 2 games.
Well, this is what I said about the games in hand. Everyone goes, oh, well, your games in hand are against Chelsea and Spurs and Liverpool. It doesn't work like that because we've got games to play in the meantime, right? And in the meantime, anything can happen with those other teams. All you've got to do, if we beat Watford and then we win our next game, they could drop off. They could drop points in those games anyway. So the game, who you've got your games in hand against doesn't really matter.
No.
It's what happens in the meantime that matters. So you just got to go game by game. It's an old cliche, but you just got to go game by game.
Exactly. It's game by game. It's like you say, right? It doesn't really matter when these games are because we just got to win the games we win and then watch what goes on around us. And we already know if we beat Watford and we beat Leicester, at that point of beating Leicester, Tottenham have already got to play Man United. So then one of them have lost even more ground on us.
Exactly. So that game against Tottenham, that's our game in hand. This comes irrelevant. Apart from the fact that it's Tottenham, but you know what I mean. In the terms of the top 4 race, it's irrelevant because we would have gone further ahead of them by that point. So
mate. I think if we get 6 points out of the next 2 games, I think we're going to be sitting in a pretty good situation and then going into the big games because, like I said, you look at Man United, they've got Man City and Tottenham. You look at Tottenham, they've got Everton and Man United. Like they're not easy games.
No,
and they still. And what happens at that point? If we pick up the wins and they don't, we still got the 3 games in hand.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Exactly what I mean. And I mean the other with regards to Chelsea. I mean, like who was it? Colonel. But we could finish 3rd. It's a possibility because Chelsea. The further it goes with Chelsea as well, they're way out of the title race. Obviously.
Yeah.
So they're going to concentrate more and more on the Champions League as it goes on throughout the season. The good thing is that they have gone through tonight in the FA Cup. That's another cup run they've got to contend with. So by the time we play them in the league, anything can happen with that as well. What a goal that was!
Well, it's 3-1 in the end.
Yeah. Just showing the goals now for anyone as well.
Southampton are one of the form teams in the Premier League at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, they're another team that can just like that's not going to be an easy game for us either. That's another game we got away from Southampton.
What was
Brozier
that for
scored,
defending, man?
yeah. But are irrelevant, and I think we can beat Chelsea. I mean, they're sort of concentration around the Premier League. Of course, they're going to always try their best, but I'm sure that he's going to put the strongest team out in the Champions League as it progresses to try and retain that.
Yeah,
we've got a chance.
Yeah, we've got a big chance. Got a big chance. Who's most consistent during this spell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I was saying on that Andrew's podcast last night, if you go back to the Everton game, just the start of December, up till now, league alone, we've only lost one game in the league, and that was New Year's Day. Every other game, apart from Burnley, we've won. So the form-wise, the form's on our side. We've just got to keep it going. And as you say, these next 2 weeks are crucial. Going into that Liverpool game, the game in hand one, and then if we get something out of that, if we are in fourth by a point or two, going into after the Villa game, going into that international break, because of how our fixtures are spread out, I think that gives us a massive footing going into the big push, the last knockings of the season.
Yeah,
my favourite is literally we ain't got to play Man City again this season, and Tottenham are Tottenham. Tottenham's shit. Chelsea could, again, as me and Andrew are saying there, could be a massive favour that they stay in Europe for as long as possible because they just concentrate on that really and do what they did last year when we played them in April, May time. And let's go weak team in the league. We beat them. They go for full strength for the Champions League and try to retain their title there before Roman fucks off.
Yeah. Well,
it would be good. It would be nice to Chelsea into that mire as well. So there's 2 spots you're gunning for, not just one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think also as I say, the main thing that goes in our favour is the way the fixtures are panned. Like we're seeing with United, we've got City, Tottenham, Liverpool in the next few weeks. Yeah, we've got. Even though we've got the big opponent like the Chelsea, Liverpools and all that to come, they're all spread out. And we've got teams that we should be beating in and around them, but more than the other.
And we've got recent form against Liverpool and Chelsea as well. You know, we beat Liverpool in the League Cup, a couple of seasons ago. We beat them in the Charity Shield. Yeah. I'm not saying we don't need to bank on winning that game. However, why write it off?
The thing about that game is
get a draw.
Yeah.
If you look at Man United and Tottenham, they've got to go to Liverpool. Well, we're at the Emirates, totally different, isn't it? We could, the chances are slim them getting anything at Anfield, touch wood, right? But we go to the Emirates, and we are favourites to lose that game. But if we got a draw out of that game and the other teams lost that game, we've literally gained another point.
Yeah.
And that fixture.
Yeah.
And I think we can get a draw out of it. We'd have to ride our luck at times, but I think we've got Saka and Partey in midfield. It makes a total difference, don't it? So then what we're having Odegaard and Sammy Lukonga in centre midfield against them.
Yeah. I think the Anfield fixture, the first initial event went on to be the first leg of the cup tie. That showed on our day that if we dig deep and stick to our game plan, we can get a result against Liverpool. Yeah. But it's just...
And that's what we've got to do.
Yeah.
Just cut out the stupid mistakes, isn't it? It's just cutting out stupid mistakes, really. But we haven't... I can't really complain about us defensively shitting and the goalkeeper because they haven't made many mistakes. Like the season before, it was game after game, weren't it?
The last season, Leno fucking...
And I read the stats today, like this time last year was 13 points less off. 13 points. No. That just says it all, really. So I think these next 2 games are important to win. If we can win these next 2 games and that teams will drop around us as well, it's going to put a lot more pressure on it than likes Man United and Tottenham. And at the moment, you literally Manchester United, you don't know what they're going to do.
No.
And I don't see Man United going through the whole season now changing. They're going to be like they are. They're going to be dropping points left, right, and centre, and so are Tottenham because that's why I want Man United to beat Tottenham though, because I think Tottenham could, looking at their running, I think they could be more consistent than Manchester United out of the two. So that's why I think I'd rather Man United beat Tottenham, totally knock Tottenham out of it, and then it gives us even more of a gap to go to Tottenham and potentially play that game. Because if it goes to Arsenal Tottenham and they're about 6 or 9 points behind us, they've got to come proper at us, and that might suit us massively on a counter attack.
Yeah. Hopefully, players don't get sending off. So banking on that a lot.
No, that's the only. That's
the main thing. That's our discipline. That's our thing. That and the rest.
That's something we've got to work on. It's not self-implode.
Yeah. Go saying possible 10 wins out of 14 remaining. Chelsea, Liverpool, United, and that team down the road. Points would be a bonus, basically.
I think 10 out of 14.
I think 10 out of 14.
I think if you win 10 out of 14, I think we've got a really good chance.
I think if we get 10 out of 14 wins,
I think if we get 10 out of 14, that's massive.
I think that gives us a Champions League spot to do that.
Sorry, my lad phoned me.
That's right. 10 out of 14, definitely. I think if we got 10 out of 14, then you just sit there and think that we should be really, really close to getting that Champions League spot, because I don't see any of them matching us with that. And even if they do match us with that, we've got the 3 games in hand.
Yeah, which is against 3 to 4 that are mentioned as in brackets. So
West Ham, United, and Spurs, they're all going to drop points as well. You know, they're not going to have perfect end to the season. So I think we just need an average run between now and the end of the season without a major collapse. If we can have a good run that we have been having, which, let's face facts, since Christmas, not last Christmas, Christmas before, we've been really consistent throughout the whole league season, all of last year and this year. If we could just carry on with the general run that we've been having, we can afford to drop, points here and there and still finish in the top 4. We haven't got to be thinking that all these other teams are going to have perfect records between now and the end of the season and be catching us up and always be on our coattails, because they've been inconsistent as well. So they're all going to drop points. But I think, 10. I mean, even if we have 9 wins out the last 14 and some draws in the meantime as well, out of the other ones, I think even that could possibly be enough. But if we get 10, I think we're nailed on, really, for Champions League.
Yeah.
I think we got 10 and we was able to beat at least one of Man United and Tottenham in that 10 as well, because that's a 6-pointer, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. A massive psychological below to whoever don't win that game,
Yeah, it's a massive 6-pointer, that is. So, but if you got 10 and you beat Tottenham and Man United in that, then that's it. It's game over.
I mean, the other major thing is other thing that could beat us is ourselves in terms of things that are out of our control. I mean, injuries is going to be a big factor, and stupid things like sending offs, like Colonel's put there, and obviously Gary as well. But we mentioned that before. We really have to be lucky in terms of that. I mean, touch wood with regards to injuries and sendings off, because that could kill us. Because we are really thin on the ground. I mean, especially in midfield. I think we could cope with one injury up front, maybe, and one at the back, mate. But I think in midfield we are really, really hoping that Xhaka and Partey stay fit.
Yeah, that's the key thing for me, mate. I don't think we can afford to be losing any of them 2 players. And they play well. To be fair to them, they do seem to like playing with each other. So they play well when they're with each other, but it's just when they haven't got each other that the concerns lie.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think we can, even if Saka got injured, God forbid, I think we could cope because we've got Pepe to come in. If Smith Rowe gets injured, we can cope because we've got Martinelli. But we really can't replace
Do you know
Partey.
another thing? I fancy us against Chelsea with Partey and Xhaka as well.
Hmm.
Like we didn't have Partey, did we, at the start of the season?
No, he was injured.
He was injured, weren't he, when we played them? Like, I don't look at Chelsea and think like your midfield's so much better than ours when they're fit. Because I think personally we'll give them a good game. I think Chelsea, we could go there and really do something.
We've got a better team than we had and a better chance than we had last season, and we did a double over them last season.
Yeah.
And I think we're in a much better position to play them now than we were then. So I totally agree.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think our defence is really, really good. Like I said earlier in the show, best we've had in donkey's years, our defence. I'm really confident now forward players can score goals against anyone. You know, we're never going to mount not the goal scorers of like Liverpool and all that sort of stuff, but we consistently get goals against anyone with our forward players. I'm confident of that. And I'm totally agree. I think if we've got, especially with Ødegaard in front of Xhaka and Partey, I think we can easily match the midfield of Chelsea. So
definitely.
I don't fear them at all at the moment. I really don't.
The only game that worries me, if I'm being totally honest at the moment, is Liverpool.
Yeah, but we don't have to.
And even that, I think if we got the midfield right, and we got them all their midfielders back for that game, like we didn't have in the, I think it's a totally different game.
And we keep 11 players on the pitch.
Yeah, well, that's
I mean,
that's the thing, like Man City, innit? We totally dominated them, but we couldn't keep 11 men on the pitch.
I think if we can get a draw from Liverpool, I'll be happy with that. That's absolutely fine.
Mate, be a great result, that, wouldn't it?
I think we're capable of that at home. I really do. But you know, we don't have to win that game. It's not our season ain't going to live or die by that result. But I honestly think that I don't fear Chelsea. Don't get me wrong; they've got a really strong squad, really, really good manager, and I'm not saying that it's going to be anywhere near like an easy sort of result. But I don't fear them, and it's very. I think every game in the Premier League, we're just as likely to lose against someone random like a Southampton as we are someone like Chelsea, to be perfectly honest. I mean, like I said, Southampton are in an amazing run at the moment. But we've just got to take it as one game at a time, haven't we? It's so boring to say that, but it really is. All I want at the moment is just 3 points against Watford on the weekend.
Yeah,
exactly. It's literally one game at a time and see what else goes on around us.
Yeah.
If we did fuck up against Watford, then the pressure's right back on us again, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. Keep the pressure on our opponents. Keep the pressure on Man United, West Ham and Spurs by keep picking up the 3 points every week. That's what we've got to do.
And to be fair, the way we beat Wolves home and away just breeds confidence as well, don't it? Like the way we've won both them games. Like one of them we're down to 10 men, backs against the walls. The second game we've literally scored 95th minute winning. Even though it was deserved in my eyes. Like things like that just breed confidence, don't they? And breed good team morale.
Oh, without question, yeah. And it breathes new life. Not that it needed breathing new life because the fans have been amazing all year, but it breathes even more life into the fans, and the fans get more and more excited for the next home game after the one that we had against Wolves. You know, it's just the atmosphere is going to be electric again, isn't it? And building up towards the end of the season with the excitement of the possibilities of what we can achieve. The home games are going to be much more like a fortress than they have been in many, many years, aren't they?
Yeah, it'll be a good game, Leicester. I think that's going to be a good game, that is.
Massive game. Yeah, really. I can't see anyone having an empty seat in the running now. If it keeps going this way, we'll beat Watford on Saturday. The Leicester games and the excitement for each home game throughout the rest of the season is just going to build and build, isn't it? Getting back into the possibility of the Champions League, and that's going to see us a long way, I think.
Honestly, if he can get Champions League, that will take so much pressure off him as well. Because I've always thought that he's always 2 games away from a disaster. We've got the fans. I think if he gets Champions League, like that, totally takes so much pressure off him as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what? There's going to be the Arsene Nose famous flag at the Emirates.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a podcast. The creator, the person that made that, and he was re-interviewed and said Are you going to do a Mikel knows one? He goes, oh, not yet, but if we get Champions League, the last home game of the season, or the last game of the season, he's going to make a Mikel knows sign because he thinks the achievement will be worth it. And I think I agree. It'd be a massive, the youngest squad in the Premier League with no experience of it. It'd be an amazing achievement to get back into the Champions League with this squad,
especially when you lose your skipper halfway through.
Yeah, everything that guy's had to deal with in his young managerial career, going through COVID and empty stadiums,
Twice.
and having to negotiate wage reductions with every single player, get completely revamp the squad, get rid of all the players that were causing bad eggs in the changing room, get rid of all systematically, run them out of the club. You know, deal with the Aubameyang situation twice. You know, it's just unbelievable what he's had to go through in such a short amount of time that he's been a manager, and to achieve this with a whole new squad. Let's face it, and the youngest squad in the Premier League, it would be an unbelievable achievement. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. And just before we wrap up, I think that as we've been saying for the last few weeks, look, start of the season for us to say this at this point of the season we'll be in Champions League running. You would have snapped your hands off, obviously. But the main objective of the club was just to get back into Europe, by Europa League, basically 5th or 6th, and build from that.
Exactly.
So as you say, if he's touching wood here, it obviously him and the players get over the line, and we do get back into the promised land of Champions League football for next season. You've got to take your hats off to him and the players for achieving that against all the odds, and especially with the added pressure from having the Amazon cameras in your face 24/7, because that could have easily derailed us, especially the way the season started as well, with the 3 defeats, no goals, no points, them not top of the league, the fan base literally is calling for Arteta's head, Edu telling us to pipe down. It just wasn't a good place at the start, but it seems that Edu was spot on. He wanted to see the team as a whole, a fully fit team played together before anything was called on Arteta. He's sort of been proven right there.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, we're in the Champions League running here, and none of us thought that would be possible this season.
I honestly think we will always worry because we're football fans, and we're always going to be worried about this and that. And but we said this a few weeks ago, Ryan. We need to give this team more credit now, because we've been on a good run now for 14 months. It's not just a flash in the pan anymore.
No.
For the end of last season and going into this season, if you average out our points, we're easily a top 4 team with our form consistently for 14 months. So we need to give them more credit, and I suppose the best thing to do would just be a bit more relaxed about this, because it should be it could be realistically quite a formality that we are going to end up in the top 4, because it's totally in our hands now. But we're always going to worry, because that's the natural thing for a fan to do, isn't it? At the end of the day, if we give this team a bit more faith, I think I think they could quite deliver it for us. But I just, it's just so hard to let yourself feel confident, isn't it?
You don't want to let guard down.
We've been let down so many times.
Yeah, we just need to get to May, don't we? Once we're in May, you know what we've done.
Yeah, I think if we look back on it, I think why were we worrying? Because this team has got something about it. It really has. You know, the performance against Wolves just shows that there's no way we would have won that a while ago. Coming back in that manner, our heads would have dropped, and we just wouldn't. But this team has just got something. The camaraderie amongst his team, and it just shows every single match the way that they celebrate goals together, the way that they come together, and even when Gabriel made that mistake against Wolves, there wasn't any berating or anyone shaking their heads and shouting at each other. They were encouraging each other. It's just got something special, this squad now. It really has, and it doesn't worry me as much at the back, especially. Our defence has been amazing. Ramsdale's a revelation, the way that he manages that and encourages them and shouts encouragement throughout the game. And We just haven't.
And don't put his defenders under pressure either.
No, they trust him behind them. That goes so far, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
I think we need to have more faith in them because I think they're going to see us through this young bunch of lads. They've got something together. Like Mikel Arteta used that word brotherhood amongst them, and I think you can see it, can't you, on the pitch? I'm really confident they will bring us through these last 14 games.
Yeah. We've been going nearly 4 hours now. Bloody hell. Nearly. I think we're best wrap things up, get ourselves off to bed and all that, and get rest for the weekend ahead. Obviously, thanks to Liam and Andrew for coming along.
We've only been done 4 hours yet, mate. I mean, God, what's going on?
We're not far off it. Did say not for close to it, so technically.
It's a short show tonight. Sorry, folks.
We've got to come back tomorrow and do a podcast tonight ahead of the weekend, so oh dear. But yeah, as I said, I'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. What was it? We said 8. It was 8 o'clock, didn't we say, Andrew?
I think so, mate.
I'll double check the group chat in a sec. I think we're phone on charge, but yeah, around 8 o'clock tomorrow, myself, Andrew, and Steve will be coming along to do a sort of catch up first half of the show, catch up on what's happening for the last 7 days, and also then looking forward onto Sunday and all the positives and all the usual stuff we usually go through. And Friday night off, Saturday match of the day. Stream, even though we're not playing on Saturday, obviously keep an eye on our rivals, and then Sunday double header of Arsenal. Literally one full stream, two Arsenal watch-alongs in one stream, basically. Starting off with Arsenal women versus Birmingham City at midday, and then 5 minutes after that whistle goes, we kick off, getting the guys in for the main event of the day. From an Arsenal perspective, anyway, for Watford v Arsenal, and then we go from there basically. And then obviously Monday we did a review. Obviously cut back on Monday night and did the review stuff and all that jazz. But yeah, Liam, what have you got coming up on your channel? You got a show tomorrow, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got my Cannon and Paul show tomorrow, 7 o'clock, and then I'm back on it on Sunday.
Yeah, you're back in on Sunday. Yep, and Andrew, what about yourself?
Well, apart from I'll come on to with you tomorrow, and then I'll be back on Tuesday from Dial Square to West. I won't be able to join on Sunday because, like I said earlier,
at your boys' game, so that's fine.
Final, yeah. So, but yeah, that's it really for me. Just tomorrow and then next Tuesday. But I've been enjoyed tonight. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no worries. Obviously, Arsenal won. The girls won. They got the job done tonight. 1-4-0. Got to put the pressure on them. Them not the other side of London, basically. And yeah, it's sort of in our hands now. It's effectively ours to lose, if that makes sense. We've obviously got Birmingham City on Sunday, so we need to avenge New Year's before we can get really carried away. We avenge that and comfortably, fantastic. But yeah, until then, guys, I'll see you tomorrow, as always.
Up the Arsenal.
Come on, you Gunners.
Cheers, guys. Up the